those scores as the evening progresses. Both teams now going to the locker room for some final thoughts before kickoff of this SEK CNC League battle between the Raiders and the Grizzlies. And earlier this week we talked with both Labette County coach Sean Price and Frontenac coach Mark Smith, and we'll be back with those conversations after we take a 2-minute break. And you're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
Stopped by the 2018 Project Graduation Bake Sale located at the front gates. Everything is $1. Come get some yummy treats and support your senior class at Frontenac High School. USB 249 would like to thank the students of Raider Inc. for tonight's program. Be sure to contact Raider Inc., the student-ran business at Frontenac High School, for any of your screen printing needs. If there are any Frontenac High School sophomores here at the game, Mr. Copple would like you to head over to the concession stand area and help out if you can. We appreciate your support.
Can Trent make it sound like Fort Stud's still a power anymore? No, he's the nicest. I know we like Price is master because he's coached with him in a lot of things. He told me last year they still really got it when you're going to really have trouble.
A tradition unlike any other, Festa Italiano will be held tomorrow, October 7th. Gates open at 4:45. The amazing food will be served at 5 p.m. There are tons of activities for the whole family, including a kids zone with inflatables, tomorrow's market silent auction, and always popular wine tasting events. There will also be a live auction, some of the items include running pro-steel fireproof gun safe, crossbow Carbon Express Magnetics,
No.
LC Pistol, all donated by John's Sports Center Incorporated. We will also have live music at the event tomorrow night. The Frontenac Education Foundation wants to thank all of the sponsors and look forward to seeing you all at Festa Italiana on October 7th.
Yeah. Well, they need cleaned anyhow, though.
Well, they
They need a power wash.
if they used to every day, they cut that. It's not happening.
Can't get a power washer up here and just.
That was one of the. As I said, they showed their salaries in the paper.
For who?
Crawford County Schools.
Really? When was that? Wow.
Yes. Try and find some of that BS.
That's interesting.
They got listed in 916. That's what we got. The numbers provided by the school district. He was hired. How many years he did? Four years. So, and other firms. So, he didn't put down coaches. The three principals are over 80 grand.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And then, you know, I think your typical corporations, top heavy, want to make money, do the least. And then, in here for 2 or 3 years, 53,000, more than the top of
Why is that?
well, that's what they rate it like. I said, they hired somebody in college, they make about 35, 38 grand. And her husband was bored when it happened.
Yeah.
You know, that's bullshit.
Well, that's been going on forever.
Huh?
That's been going on forever, though.
But they were too public.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess Sunday is going to be the Crawford County and the cities.
The what?
Cities and Crawford County. Cities and the Crawford County, all in the county. Like Pittsburgh and Crawford County.
This for the work for the city.
Yeah, and the county, and I'm sure they'll do Frontenac, Girard.
Hey, it is a matter of public record.
Well, that's
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's what they shouldn't have cut, and they're saying, they're arguing that somebody they'll find that out. It is a matter of public record. Well, you know, they put the picture of the Olympics in the paper.
Yeah.
So they had,
this will get more of a reaction than that.
Oh yeah.
They were talking about our come up with I think he does with the term.
That's all he does now, isn't it? He doesn't teach class, right? 62 grand just to AD. Jesus. Can I have that job? Please?
And I said it, all this supplemental, plus 10 drop from some.
Who else will be on our schedule?
What's that?
What about Gerard?
They're the next one. They're
No,
District
for
2.
our schedule.
No, they're District 2. Maybe they won't play.
For our just regular schedule.
No, because I think because they're in that other district.
'Cause
we
we
don't want to play them twice.
Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
There
Week
should be
1 is 8.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, counting
And-
week 1 open.
And we're obviously one of those. The 9th game is the first start of the playoffs.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, but they need a.
Their week opening is in week 1 now, so that's what they got to find somebody to fill in for. With Missouri, that may make it looks that'll be week 2, I think. I think they're going back a week. It would have been week 3.
What will Pittsburgh do? Since they dropped down.
They're in 4A.
Yeah.
Isn't it on there?
But it's just the whole East.
They do, yeah, they, like they have in the past, that they seed them, I think, from the get-go. I think they...
So they still got to play. I heard Webb and Carl didn't want to play him, and Harrisville didn't want to play him anymore.
Well, they can't, because they're going into new conferences, that they're expanding that large school over there, and they're all got filled up now. And then they said that, what was the other thing? They see, Parsons is dumping from the SEK and football.
Oh, really?
And football. They won't play. They're only 3A teams, so they're going to fill up with 3A teams.
Gosh darn it.
All right, Raider fans, time to pick you a sit on the field to start forming the tunnel for the players to come through. Head on down towards the stands, make the tunnel, greet the Raiders as they come onto the field.
Listen to that myself.
What's that? Listen to that.
I listened to that. It was on when I was heading up here. It's the first time I've heard their coach admit we just kicked the crap out of them last year. First time.
It might have been the first time. There was a little article on Parsons and he didn't take the woodshed. It took a while.
A long road trip and got on his phone to the bigger class size and like kind of a different environment. It looked like his response as well. They do. I'm sure they do experience for a lot of them.
Yeah, I guess there's time for people to get here. If they're in the bed, it'd be all over this. Still early.
They handle everything pretty well. We stayed pretty healthy outside throughout the game, which is great because it was we kept the challenge. And you got a lot of the kids, if not all of the kids, and that's what we just like. Oh, it's tremendous. We got to everybody in on earlier than I wanted to because we can do the horse together. Big few weeks coming, but yeah, we got it very hard.
Still kicking. Still breathing.
Coming off a big win over 34-7, and the talented team, Southside is bringing over here.
quarterback runs the ball a lot. I didn't think so.
What's that?
Mark made it seem like their quarterback runs a lot. I didn't think so. It's more scramble and
Yeah.
you know.
He carried. Like I said,
As far as like in the running game,
he only threw 12 times against Fort Scott, which is very low for them. I mean, I don't know.
well, they need to. They can hand it off.
He had a good. He was moving. I was watching parts of it. It was hard to watch.
I didn't even watch a half of either one of them. To be quite honest with you.
I say right here, wasting your time on he said they were up 20 rounds. I it happened here too.
Dave Rando down for Festa.
Where is he at?
Right in front of you.
I mean, where is it?
Kansas City.
Oh.
Gosh darn it. I cannot stop.
Oh.
You guys care if we borrow the school? I got Wolf.
Rob Strand, Randy Southern at the Raiders Sports Complex as the Frontenac Raiders play host to the Labette County Grizzlies. And again, looks like the rain's finally stopped and it's kind of clearing off. Field in excellent shape, so it should be an interesting contest. And again, Frontenac won at Labette County last year, and the Grizzlies trying to return the favor against the Raiders here this year. And we'll be back with the starting lineups after we take a 2-minute break. 2 minute. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
At this time, we would ask everyone who is able to please rise and remove your hats to observe a moment of silence to honor the brave men and women who have served and are currently serving our country in the armed forces. marching band is under the direction of Miss Alicia Graves. The flag will be raised by members of the Frontenac American Legion Post 43.
And the national anthem by the Frontenac Raiders marching band prior to kickoff of this CNC SEK battle between the Frontenac Raiders and the Labette County Grizzlies. And again, the Raiders coming in at 3-2, coming off that 63-18 win at Kansas City Harmon. The Labette County Grizzlies 5-1, coming off a 34-7 win over Fort Scott. And with the keys to tonight's contest, Randy Southard.
All right, for the Frontenac Raiders tonight, I think it all depends on how Labette County decides to defend us on offense. Against other spread offenses this year, they've gone almost with like a six-man in the box, 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers. They'll play a 4-deep zone in the back and another defensive back off the ball as well. If that's the case, then the Raiders have got to be able to run the football and then take the short passes that are going to be open, as they just basically Labette County refuses to give a deep ball. So you got to take the short stuff. Defensively, the DNs have got to keep the ball inside, in particular on the pass rush. If you DNs get sucked in too far, this quarterback will roll out. He's 6'7", big kid, fully capable of running the football. You cannot let him get out of the pocket. So for Labette County on offense, I think they are going to want to come out and run the football first and foremost. Let their runs set up their passing game to where you don't know which is coming. If the Raiders can make them one-dimensional and have to throw, then I think they can stop Labette County pretty well. Defensively for Labette County, I think they're going to want to make Frontenac have to make the drive the full length of the field. Long drives, make them earn it, see if they can do it without either turning it over or getting penalties to ruin a drive. So that means tackling well and just not giving up the big play.
And the captain's out at the center of the field, and for the Frontenac Raiders, they've got Jordan Ishimura along with Brock Gittiman, Peyton Brown, and Cal Strand. For the Labette County Grizzlies, it's TJ Mayhew, Tate Phillips, Tanner Russell, and Rogan Bruce. And I believe they showed Frontenac won the toss, deferred to start the second half. And as a result, the Raiders will kick off and defend the east goal here at the Frontenac Raiders Sports Complex. So about ready for football. Should be a good one. And, Raiders went over there, had an impressive performance against the Grizzlies last year. Kind of put them into a tailspin, actually, and they struggled, but still got into the playoffs. But this Grizzlies team coming in, again, they only lost to Andell 39-0, but State Power, Andell loaded. And the Raiders coming off a couple of nice performances. This is one of those contests, like if you heard Mark Smith in the pregame interview, it's nice to have on the schedule. It really... You step up the competition, and you can build it up SEKC and see what you want. But the main thing is you're getting, if everybody stays healthy going into the districts, which the Frontenac Raiders are nicked up a bit, but the ones that are out should be back next week, so that should help.
Right, and I look at how these two teams have played so far this year, and I look at it pretty equal. When either team has played somebody that's pretty darn good, it's not gone so great. When they played against teams that are not quite as good, they've dominated the football game. Both teams have done that tonight, so you're going to find out which one is the real deal and which one can only beat the not so good teams.
And teeing it up for the Raiders from the 40-yard line will be Trey Harris, back to receive the kick for the Labette County Grizzlies. Drops Keyshawn Anderson, and also back there
Trying to see, is that, I believe that is Caleb Henson standing back at about the 5-yard line. So we're ready. The Raiders in their home black jerseys, black pants, black helmets with white numerals and trim. The Grizzlies in their road white jerseys, white pants with red helmets, numerals, and trim. End over end kick, short, and coming up to take it is Anderson. Takes it the middle of the field, trying to turn the corner, and he is dragged down right about the 20-yard line. Good kick covered by the Raiders, and the Grizzlies will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was Brant Chance. It might have been Cade Chastain. I wasn't sure. It's far side of the field, but he tried to get around the corner and get down the sideline. Good outside contain, made him cut it back in. Roseboro and a couple other guys were waiting on him.
So 1st and 10 Grizzlies. They'll start from their own 20-yard line. Again, the quarterback is Easton Dean. Single setback. TJ Mayhew, the transfer, he's in motion now out of the slot position left to right, and brushing it up the middle is the setback who was the right of the quarterback, Easton Dean. And that time on the carry, trying to, I think that was Mayhew, wasn't it? Actually,
yes, it was Mayhew. And good misdirection in the backfield to kind of try to confuse the defense.
Single setback, Mayhew to the right of Dean. Now they're short a player are the Grizzlies, and coming from the far sideline is Owen Back, and he splits wide left, and the slot to the left is Cale Irwin. And there's a give again up the middle. Mayhew avoids the first tackler, and he's got a first down out to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, that was Ishimura, middle linebacker. Read the play very well, filled the hole, but then missed the tackle. Really only got an arm on him. And, Mayhew runs too hard to be able to get him down with just an arm tackle.
So 1st and 10 Grizzlies from their own 32-yard line. Again, Dean out of the gun. In motion, right to left. And the ball is loose. It's on the ground. Oh, and able to get it is Anderson, but I think it came out, and there's still a scramble. Now they're letting some of the players jump on the pile, and the Raiders say they have the football.
It's going to be interesting to see what they say.
They do, a turnover. Yeah. Cal Strand came up with it out of the pile.
Yeah, and it looked like the back tried to jump on the ball, looked like he had it, but I saw Strand dive in as if the ball was still loose, like he didn't cover it clean when the player for Labette County jumped on it, and then he wrestles it out of there. So a big turnover to start this game.
And they tied that trap to Keyshawn Anderson and never did handle it. He was kind of dribbling on the turf, and the Raiders come up with the turnover, have it 1st and 10, and they will start at the Grizzlies' 32-yard line. Peyton Brown under the center. Lloyd the fullback, Wilbert the tailback. Wide to the right, Ishmael, and a bobble snap, and Brown comes up with it, able to turn the right corner, and he's able to fight his way down near the 26-yard line, and boy, he turned a negative into a positive.
Yeah, and they had some trouble last week, with the center snap, had some fumbles. This time, first play of the game, bobbled, made something out of nothing because, that was complete improvisation.
So 2nd and 4. Well, actually, they only gave him about 5 yards on that carry. They did. So it will be 2nd and 5 for the Raiders from the Grizzlies, 28-yard line. Again, the running back's in the eye behind Brown. Motion right to left goes Chastain. Fakes the give to Wilbert. It's got room up the middle, inside the 20, 15, drags a tackler down to the 12 for the first down.
Well, really well blocked up front on that right side of the line. Big hole on the side. You get the defense thinking that it's going to go left with the jet sweep. You end up having Cooper Loy come through the hole first as a lead blocker. They got a good seal on the outside, seal on the inside. Beautiful blocking.
1st and 10, Raiders at the 12 of the Grizzlies. Brown again under the center. Single setback is Wilbert. And there's a give to Wilbur. Oh, he slipped on the good, but he spins inside the 10, down near the 7, maybe the 6. Boy, nice effort there. He kind of lost his footing, but spun, picked up a good gain on first down.
Yeah, tried to make a spin move as the hole closed really quick. Kind of got hit in the leg and threw him off balance. Great job to maintain his balance and make a positive gain.
2nd and 6 for the Raiders from the 7 of the Grizzlies. Tight to the left side is Ginnivan. Tight right is Roseboro. Running backs in the eye with a slot to the left side. There's a give, Wilbert. They got penetration. Boy, he's unable to turn the corner, but nice effort, and he drags tacklers down near the 3 and got flirted with that first down. Nice run by Jake Wilbert.
Yeah, good hard run, but I tell you, that ball on the snap went through Peyton Brown's hands, but it stuck in his chest. He didn't field that one clean either.
So 3rd and 1 Raiders from the Grizzlies 3. 9:22 left here in the first quarter, no score. Coming wide to the right side for Frontenac is Brendan Yashimura. Double tights, running backs in the eye. Brown under the center. Jordan Yashimura, the center. Give to Wilbert, left side, and he forgot in for the score from 3 yards out, Jake Wilbert.
Well, I tell you, Labette County brought their entire defense. They had 10 in the box. The Raiders still decide we're going to run against it, and just good, hard running by Wilbert. 3 or 4 times on that drive. He did a lot of it on his own and give him 6.
So Wilbert from 3, and the extra point attempt coming up. Trey Harris out of Wilbert's hold. And good snap, placement down, kick is up. It is good. 9 minutes left first quarter. Frontenac 7, Labette County nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
You going to tell her?
Hey, Taylor, we're getting a lot of feedback. That speaker may be too loud.
Raider Nation, let's get up and make some noise for the kickoff.
9 minutes left in the first quarter. Frontenac 7, Labette County nothing. The kickoff by Trey Harris into the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 Grizzlies from their own 20.
So, boy, you couldn't ask for a better start for Frontenac in this one. You get the turnover on the first possession. You drive it right in, all of it on the ground.
Grizzlies from the 20. Dean, the quarterback, in the gun. Single running back with him. Mayu swings right side, looking over the middle. Dean puts it up. It's complete to Russell. And he's dragging tacklers out near the 27-yard line for a pickup of 7.
Yeah, he just kind of ran a crossing pattern, shallow cross, and hit him as he was in between the linebackers' drops. So a good play and a good tough run. He's a pretty big kid coming out of the tight end spot.
2nd and 3. Grizzlies from their own 27-yard line. Again, Dean with the snap. There's a giveaway. Looks to pump. He's going to run. Takes off up the middle, and he's out near the 45-yard line. Just faked it and took it up the middle.
Well, I think the big buzzword in football anymore are RPOs, run pass option. I think that's what it was. The quarterback had a choice to give it, had a choice to throw it, decided to take it himself, got a big gain.
1st and 10. Grizzlies from their own 46-yard line. After that run by Dean. With the snap, option left side, sweeps it left and trying to turn the corner. That is Anderson, and he is dragged down at midfield after a gain of about 4.
And the Raiders maybe just a hair lucky that wasn't more. Kind of gave him the corner. Lost a little bit of outside leverage on the corner and safety on that side. You'd like to see them make sure they turn it in because the Raiders had plenty of pursuit coming from the inside. You got to make him turn that ball back up.
So pick up a 5. 2nd and 5, Grizzlies from the Raiders' 49-yard line. Dean out of the gun. Mayhew lines up behind him. Wideouts both sides, slots both sides. Now Mayhew shifts right side of Dean. Grizzlies from the Raiders' 49. And there's a quick out and off the fingertips of the intended receiver. A tad too tall. And that pass looked like it was intended. Trying to see who was split out that time. I believe that was Josiah Rexwinkle.
Yeah, and just kind of running like a skinny post, basically. The corner giving plenty of cushion. Had him wide open, just the ball sailed on him.
3rd and 5. Grizzlies from the Raiders, 49-yard line. Again, out of the gun. With football, giving it up the middle, Mayhew, and boy, he's close to the first down, and they were more concerned about trying to strip the ball rather than stop him shy of the stake, but he made it, picked up 6.
Yeah, they're going to give him the first down, and the linebackers are reading things correctly. They're just a hair late getting to the hole, so their linebackers are end up trying to go with arm tackles and not able to put a shoulder into them. They're going to have to make a step adjustment just to kind of hit the hole more correctly.
1st and 10 for the Grizzlies from the Raiders, 43-yard line. Getting out of the gun, Dean Mayhew lines up to his right side. With football, and he's going to keep it, try and turn the right corner, and boy, avoids the first tackler, now cuts inside, and man, he was able to pick up 9, and he was tackled for a loss, but they was strong enough, big enough to pick up 9.
Yeah, defended actually really well, and the first tackle went for the right idea. Go low, try to take the legs out, just too big, strong, bounced off of him.
2nd and a yard, Grizzlies. Raiders, 35-yard line. Again, Dean looking at over the middle, little pop pass complete, and that is the Walters, the tight end. He's down at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and right now, just Labette County, a good mix of run and pass. The Raider defense, I'm not sure they kind of have any idea what's coming next, whether it's they're going to run it or throw it. They've got both things going on this drive.
So 1st and 10, Grizzlies. Now at the Raiders' 25-yard line. This time Mayhew to the left of Dean. Looking to throw, looking over the middle. Now forced to scramble, and this time they hem him in and bring him down about 23 after a gain of a couple.
Good
Ran
coverage.
out of time there.
Yeah, good coverage downfield, and they were going for the big play. They had a post on the far side of the field, but ended up with double coverage, not open, and then a good rush lanes didn't allow him to get outside, made him step up, and then they got him.
2nd and 8. Grizzlies from the Raiders' 23-yard line. Again, looking to throw is Dean. Forced to scramble, trying to turn the corner. Hamden brought down. He's thrown down back at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, and this is the case again. Excellent coverage on the back end as they're trying to go long pass. Good discipline by Ginnivan on his rush. I thought for a second he was going to take an inside route, decided not to, very wisely, kept his outside arm free, and then he's big enough where he can get that quarterback on the ground.
3rd and 20 for the Grizzlies from the Raiders' 30-yard line. Okay, it's actually about the 35. Grizzlies offense looks to the far side to get the play. And Dean with Mayhew to his left side. Couple wide outs left, one right. Looking back, Dean going to go long, puts it up, throws it up into the end zone, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Ishimura. 3 defenders there, tried to force it in. There was nothing there.
Well, it's the same thing. They're trying to go deep. The coverage is there. Raiders in a 3-deep zone. Everyone able to read it. Ball hung up in the air. Ishimura comes over and makes a big play for the second turnover of the football game. But to me, it's kind of curious play calling. You've been able to run it. You were getting some short passes, picking up 6, 7, 8, 9 yards at a time. Then all of a sudden, it's like they got greedy, tried to go deep 3 plays in a row, and it cost them.
So 1st and 10 Raiders. They'll start at their own 4-yard line with 5:42 left first quarter. Frontenac 7-0 lead. And look at, are they short a player?
It looks that way.
Clock's down to 10, and
they're probably going to have to take a timeout.
No, they're looking like they're.
Yeah, they take a timeout.
They're going to take a timeout. So 5:42 left first quarter. Frontenac the 7-0 lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
Exhibition unlike any other, Festa Italiano will be held tomorrow, October 7th. Gates open at 4:45. The ACC will be served at 5 p.m. There are tons of activities for
got
the families, including the kids zone with the
3 receivers over here getting a freaking drink.
Huh?
We had 3 receivers over here getting a drink. Nobody in the game.
Anybody end up going in? Did you see
No,
or something?
Ish and Brock.
sponsors look forward to seeing you at Festa Italiano tomorrow, October 7th.
So 1st and 10 Raiders from their own 4-yard line. Give Wilbert left side, and he's stacked up for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Frontenac from its own 4-yard line.
A complete whiff on the offensive line. Quincy Jones just came through untouched. Got in there and wrapped up Brown as he was trying to hand the ball off. Barely got the ball to him. Could have been a safety.
2nd and 10 Raiders at their own 4-yard line. Brown under the center. Ishimura looking to pass. Forced to scramble. Boy, he's running out of time. Boy, he got out of there. Now he's got a man long, wide open, and that is Ishimura. It's complete. It's going to be a foot race. Ishimura at midfield. He's to the 40, and on to the 30, the 20, and he's dragged down from behind inside the 15-yard line. And boy, nice effort there, and able to catch up was Anderson.
Yeah, just completely lost him out there on the. As Brown scrambled, started left, scrambled back around right. I thought he was going to go short. He had Cooper Loy in the flat short. He sees the deep ball, gets it to him, and just not able to outrun him.
So a big pitch and catch, some 82 yards. And the Raiders will have a 1st and 10, and they're at their own 13-yard line. Going out wide to the left is Hessong. Wide to the right, Chastain. Running backs in the eye behind Brown. He's under the center. There's the give. That's Wilbert. Boy, he's a nice effort. He gets down to the 11. Not much there. Able to pick up a couple of tough yards running hard tonight.
Yeah, another missed block, though. And this one, normally a trustworthy lead blocking back, but this time kind of whiffed on it. Wilbert gets hit pretty much immediately and does what he can to get a couple.
So 2nd and 8 Raiders from the Grizzlies' 11-yard line with 4:13 clock moving first quarter. Frontenac to 7-0 lead. Wide to the left splits Ginneman. Coming out wide to the right is Hessong. Tight to the left is Roseboro. Running backs in the eye with Lloyd the fullback. The tailback is Wilbert. Brown under the center. Now a movement in the defensive line. What do they call it? Timeout? Oh, the clock was winding down. They quick called timeout. So we'll just keep it here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Just maybe looked like, again, not the right personnel on the field. I'm not sure, but Coach Smith not happy. And I don't blame him having to, use 2 timeouts. The only thing you can say is at least they're in the first half when, you don't necessarily need to have them for the second quarter before halftime.
So 3:53 left here in the first quarter. Frontenac a 7-0 lead. They took advantage of a fumble to put some points on the board and trying to take advantage of an interception. And you have any updates for us on some of the other games in the area?
Yeah, the big one tonight in CNC, you got Galena hosting Columbus. Galena with an early 6-0 lead on Columbus. And then Colgan has an early 7-0 lead on Riverton. Girard, again, 7-0 up on Southeast early in that one.
Well, some of the area games, and of course, Pittsburgh at home against Carl Junction. Try and get a score on that, too. So after the timeout, the Raiders face a 2nd and 8 from the Grizzlies' 11. And the running backs in the eye with Lloyd the fullback and Wilbert the tailback. Now motion left to right goes Ginneman. They pitch, sweep, left side. Wilbert cuts inside. A nice effort there as he's down near the 7-yard line.
And I think that's a pretty good cut by Wilbert. They had this thing look like they were going to string it out pretty well to the outside. I like that cut back. You pick up 4 or 5 there. You set them up in the 3rd and pretty manageable 4 yards to go. So good cut this time off of what was supposed to go a little wider.
Raiders at the Grizzlies 7. With 3:25 left first quarter, Frontenac 7-0 lead and threatening. Wide to the right goes Hessong. Single setback Wilbert. A bobble of the snap, and Brown able to get on it.
Well, the second one that's hit the ground, but about the 4th one that's been bobbled. So, I heard this was a problem during practice this week as well. It was a problem last week, problem in practice, problem tonight. It's just kind of hard to explain.
So they're going to try a field goal. It's going to be spotted at the 15, make it a 25-yard field goal attempt. Good snap placement down. The kick is up plenty long enough, and it is through. 2:45 left here in the first quarter. Frontenac, the 10-0 lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM. Frontenac 620-7242.
Rob Strand back with Randy Souther at the Raiders Sports Complex. 2:45 left first quarter. Frontenac leads at 10-0. Trey Harris tees it up at the 40, kicking it off, and back to receive the kick for the Grizzlies. Drops Caleb Henson. I believe that's also Keyshawn Anderson back there, and they're inside the 5. And boy, this time a low line drive, a couple one hopper, taking Anderson at the 5, brings it straight up the middle, and he's still on his feet before he's hemmed in and gang tackled after he crosses the 25-yard line.
And unusual kick for Harris, but I tell you, good for him making the field goal. You know, we've tried it in a couple of blowouts. Even last year, tried it in a couple of blowouts, and he's kind of had these struggles when he's trying to kick for 3. You know, no problem on the PATs. This time gets a good kick and hit it plenty hard, and good for Harris to get the field goal.
So 1st and 10, Grizzlies. They'll start at their own 27-yard line. Frontenac the 10-0 lead with 2:38 left first quarter. Dean, there's a give up the middle. That is Mayhew. Boy, he avoids that first tackle. They had it well defended, and he's able to fight his way out to about the 30 for a gain of 3.
Yeah, he's just shifty enough that he's making those linebackers miss and in the hole. And they're doing a pretty good job at diagnosing the play and understanding where the ball's going. Now they just got to make sure they can get him on the ground.
Now in a little hurry up. 2nd and 7 for Grizzlies from their own 30-yard line. Again, Dean out of the gun. Mayhew to his left. Trips to the right, one wide out left. Looking to throw, looking to go under the trips and complete. And that is Cale Irwin on the reception.
Boy, that's pretty good hands by Irwin, because this ball was just a rocket and only about 8 yards down the field when he caught it. Good coverage, blanket coverage. I thought maybe Loy might have been able to get a hand in there and knock it out, but good hands and convert the first down.
1st and 10, Grizzlies from their own 41-yard line. Mayhew to the right of Dean. Now shifts left, trips right, one wide out left again. Rolling right is Dean, and he's going to keep the football. Boy, I thought he was going to try and spike it, kind of avoid the sack, and then he held on to him and stopped for no gain.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who the end on the far side was that time. Might have been Roseboro.
Roseboro's
yeah, Roseboro got out there and wouldn't let him get to the outside, turned him in. The pursuit got to him.
So 2nd and 10, Grizzlies from their own 41-yard line. Dean out of the gun, slaps his hands in, looks over at the sideline to get the play. Mayhew shifts to his left. Wide out, slots to both sides, dropping back. Dean, some pressure, got a man open over the middle. That is Russell. It is complete. He was wide open, spins and avoids the first defender, and boy, he's dragging the tackler down near the 20-yard line.
Well, this is the hard part when you're running a 3-deep zone, and they've got 4 receivers, and they all go deep. You know, the Raiders did this very well last year against 3-deep coverage. To get it done to them this time, you got 3 deep, 4 of them running. There's got to be one open, and the quarterback bounding.
4 completions, 6 attempts, 46 yards for Dean. Rolling right side is Mayhew trying to turn the corner, and he's dragged down from behind. And that looked like, was that Loy had him from? No, that was Roseboro apparently got him from behind there when joined by a couple of other tacklers after a gain of about 3.
Yeah, he got to him, but that's one of those cases where I'd like to see him get up the field more and not let him get around the corner. Could have limited that even more.
2nd and 7. Grizzlies from the Raiders 17. There's Mayhew once again. Cuts up the middle. Short gain. Inside the 15, down near the 14, maybe the 13.
And a good job making him turn in. Now those linebackers they're just barely missing. This time the middle linebackers in the hole again and just can't quite get the right angle to get a good shot on him and get him down.
3rd and 2, Grizzlies from the Raiders 14-yard line. And there's Mayhew again. This time he breaks it up the middle, bowls over a tackler at the 5, and he is down near the 3-yard line.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Play defended pretty well, but he's able to break a tackle at the line, then he gets into the secondary.
And 5 seconds remaining, and there's a snap to Dean. Give Mayhew up the middle. No, stop just short. So the Grizzlies will face a 2nd and goal from the Raiders 1. That's the end of the first quarter. Frontenac leads at 10-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become a part of something more.
We're a family of Crimson and Gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong
at Pittsburgh State University.
And Grizzlies threatening, where they will face a 2nd and goal from the Raiders' 1-yard line.
And this would be a big goal line stand if the Royals can, or if the Raiders
Yeah,
can
they're
get
out of
it. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, if the Raiders can make this goal line stand, boy, what a big play that would be. Otherwise, Labette County's right back in it.
And they had the big pass play, now they keep it on the ground, and Mayhew doing the chore, the transfer from Parsons. Dean out of the gun with Mayhew to his right. And there's the give, and he rolls into the end zone for the score.
And again, I tell you, the Raiders getting penetration, they're just missing it. They're just barely missing him. And I think it's more just a turn of the shoulders, just one little wiggle that he's given in the hole. But he's having a heck of a night on the ground so far. Raiders defending stuff, they just got to figure out how to get him on the ground.
And the swinging gate. Check the alignment for the defense. Now they shift, and they're going to try to kick. That'll be Tate Phillips. Dean's hold. Nice snap. You got it down. The kick is up and plenty long enough, and it is good. 11:58 left first half. Frontenac leads Labette County 10-7. Why don't we keep it here? And, boy, an interesting first quarter plus one play here. The Raiders Sports Complex. The Raiders up 10-7, and, boy, got a good one going.
Yeah, it's kind of what we thought we might get tonight. Two teams going at it pretty hard, and maybe both of them showing that, they are pretty good teams this year. So we're definitely going to find that out. The Raiders taking advantage of the 2 turnovers, 10 points off of two turnovers. Labette County had a good drive going the last time, got the interception. This time they finished the drive, put it in to narrow the gap to 3.
So kicking off for the Grizzlies, teeing it up at the 40 is Phillips. Back to receive the kick. Chance along with Ishimura and also Johnson. And deep for the Raiders is Brendan Ishimura, flanked by Brant Chance and Alex Johnson. And front line going to be having to watch, make sure about the onside kick. Boy, that's pops it up over to the far side, and boy, it went out of bounds, and nobody was heading over that way, it didn't look like.
Yeah, that one was a strict miss hit this time, just right off the side of the foot, kicked it straight out of bounds. So the Raiders are going to start off with excellent field position.
And it didn't look like any of the Raiders made much of an effort to head that way. It must have been blatantly obvious it was going out of bounds. It was getting a little goosey because they weren't heading that way. So the Raiders will take it 1st and 10. They'll start, they're trying to get the right football out there. They're going to start from their own 39-yard line. With 11:58 left first half, around a 10-7 lead.
Real quick update, Rob's Carl Junction's come back on Pittsburgh. They've got a 14-7 lead.
So 1st and 10. Round under the center. Single setback is Wilbert. Slot left is Ginnivan. Bobbled the snap. Boy, this is, and see who came up with it.
They were still fighting for it, but I think Brown got back on the ball. But boy, another fumbled snap. That's 3 that have gone on the ground, but it's about 5 or 6 that have been mishandled.
2nd and 11 Raiders. They're now back at their own 38-yard line.
It's almost to the point where Frontenac may have to go out of the shotgun almost exclusively.
Clock moving down to 11:25 left here in the first half. Frontenac 10-7 lead. Hassan comes wide to the left side. Slot left is Chastain. Running backs in the eye. Boy, the fullback, the tailback is Wilbert. Run under the center. And now, was there movement early?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a false start against the Raiders.
They tell you what, they got 1st and 10 on the 39, and then you have bobble snap and penalty and start to work behind the chains. And that 10-7 lead, this becomes a real important drive here. See if they can convert on a 2nd and 16 from their own 34-yard line.
Well, and it's been a bit of a problem in a few games for the Raiders, too. If they get behind on the sticks, they've struggled to be able to convert. So they'll need to gain. You don't need it all on this 2nd down play. You don't need a 1st down here, but you need to get a nice hunk of it.
And an Ishimura wide left, slot left is Wilbert. Also Ginnivan. Shotgun, rolling left. Brown, scrambling. Needs a block, and boy, he's going to be slowing down about the 33-yard line. Just ran out of time. Boy, he had a wide-open receiver.
Yes, he did, and he was going to have his pick depending on which way the corner went. This was going to be a touchdown more than likely. He just needed a bit of more time so he could square his shoulders and make the throw, just not able to get that time.
So the Raiders again facing that now 3rd and 17 now from their own 33-yard line. Wide right, Ishimura. Slot right, Wilbert. Out wide left is Ginnivan. Single blocking back to the left of Brown. Looking Gomer over the middle, and he puts it up, and it was almost picked off. And oh man, that was right in the hands. Trying to see who was there. Was that Trent Brock?
Yeah, and this one goes right through his hands. Ill-advised throw is trying to get the tight end down the seam, but it was well covered. Tried to sneak it in, and boy, that thing just went right through his arms and down to the ground. Boy, should have been a pick.
And back to receive the kick for the Grizzlies is Caleb Henson. Trey Harris to punt. Good snap. Harris time. Get it away. A little short. Oh, and it hit the center strand right in the back and then drops. You got it. We saw that up at Kansas City Harmon. They weren't aware of when that punt was, and you're going to have to turn around and find out where it is.
And an uncharacteristically short punt for Harris. I think just not expecting the ball to be coming down anywhere near there. And for that matter, Labette County wasn't particularly, I don't think any of their players knew where it was either.
So 1st and 10, Grizzlies will start from their own 42-yard line with 10:09 left here in the first half in Frontenac. The 10-7 lead. Out wide to the left side is Back. Wide to the right, Russell. Again, Dean out of the gun. Mayhew running back to the right side. They got a blocking back behind the center, and there's a give. Mayhew left side. Boy, not much there, and he has him in, brought down a host of tacklers there.
A good team defense right there that time. They closed down the inside part of the run, and when he tried to bounce it, outside contain was right there. No choice but to try to turn it up into the rest of the defense. Just a very short gain, so good D by the Raiders.
2nd and 9. Grizzlies from their own 43-yard line. Get out of the gun, Dean. Oh, low snap. He's able to pick it up. Quick slant, overthrown and incomplete. It's a pass intended for Owen Back, and he air melded over him.
Yeah, the low snap kind of throws this off, and then the high throw. But, boy, I think the receiver felt the free safety coming up and didn't go exactly wholeheartedly after that pass when it was high.
So 3rd and 9. Grizzlies now at their 43-yard line with 9:36 left first half. Frontenac 10-7 lead. Get out of the gun. Dean with Mayhew lined up behind him.
Well, and right now this is a big play on this 3rd and 9. You know, if the Raiders can get a stop here, force a punt, that would be big.
And good snap, dropping back, some pressure, and he's going to force a scramble, and he is knocked down back at the 40-yard line. Good effort there.
Yeah, and a combination of Cummins and Roseboro get to him. But, again, good rush discipline by the Raiders. They didn't let, really any hole for him to scramble on. They sent everybody deep again. This time the Raiders are able to cover it well, no place to throw it. And then when he looked to run, just didn't have a lane to get out of there.
Phillips back to punt, stands at his own 29. Ishimura to receive the kick for the Raiders. He's back in his own 25. And good snap.
Punts away. Nice driving spiral. Ishimura takes it over the shoulder. Didn't call for the fair catch, and he's immediately planted at the 15-yard line by Cale Irwin. But nice effort there by Ishimura. If that had taken roll, it had been down near the goal line.
Yeah, more than likely. So good job catching the ball, but I think I would have liked to seen him throw up the hand and not worry about taking the hit.
So 1st and 10, Raiders will start from their own 15-yard line with 8:53 left here in the first half, and Frontenac 10-7 lead.
Trying to get a couple of score updates here. Rob, Galena now up on Columbus 12-7, and Fort Scott is up on Coffeyville 21-6.
Raiders now working out of the gun is Brown. Good snap, boy.
Oh,
he lost
no.
the football, and it's loose, and they kick it into the end zone, and I believe Brown got on it for the safety, and boy, I'll tell you what, one of the Grizzlies had it, just had the fall on it for the score, and I looked like he tried to pick it up and lost it.
Well, the pitchback went the wrong way. They're trying to run the option. They're going to the right. The blocking's to the right. The fullback's going to the right. The quarterback's going to the right. He's making the correct read, goes to pitch the ball, but he doesn't make sure that the tailback is there and just pitched it. The tailback went to the left, went completely wrong direction. The Raiders very fortunate to be able to get back on that and limit it to just the safety.
So the Raiders with some problems here as they fumble. Like you said, they avoided disaster there by getting back on it because I think there was about a trio. Grizzlies had a pretty good shot at it.
Very lucky.
8:45 left first half. Frontenac with a rear 10-9 lead. And the Raiders will tee it up. Will Trey Harris at the 20-yard line after the safety. Free kick. Guess they're going to go the tee it up rather than the punt route.
When you think you may have gotten momentum back your way, you get a good defensive stop, you force a punt, get the ball back, and then you just have a mental mistake. It costs you 2 points and end the football.
And back to receive the kick, Keyshawn Anderson, also Caleb Henson, and the end over end kick. And Henson's going to get it. They're at the 22, brings it up across the 30, and boy, he's down around the 40-yard line. Good cover as then the Grizzlies are going to take over. 1st and 10, and they'll start. It looks like they're going to be flirting with their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, boy, he got all of that one on the kick. He drove that ball a long way, and then, yeah, good hustle on the kick coverage.
So Grizzlies 1st and 10, that's called their own 41 with 8:41 left first half in Frontenac, the 10-9 lead. Out wide to the left side, goes back. Coming out wide to the right side is Rex Winkle, joined out there by Irwin. So slot to the left, there's Russell, option left side, and there's a pitch, and turning the corner is Mayhew. And did the ball come out?
I think it did.
I think the ball came out. No,
I
official
think
on the far side signaling that the Grizzlies covered it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, kind of like just a straight option out of the gun, and well read by the quarterback, got the pitch, and then was a little bit of a jersey drag on the outside, not called by the officials, which, okay, fair enough. If you're not going to call it, that's fine. Don't call it either way.
2nd and 1 Grizzlies from midfield. There's Mayhew, middle, and boy, this time, nice penetration there. Was at, I believe the linebacker Ishimura slowed him up and then stopped him after a couple-yard gain.
You know, it's an excellent read. It's exactly where he needs to be. Now he's got to get him on the ground.
1st and 10. Grizzlies now at the Raiders' 47-yard line. Hurrying things up with 8 minutes left in the first half. In Frontenac, the 10-9 lead. Wide out both sides, slots both sides. Again, Dean, the quarterback, with Mayhew to his left. There's a quick out, and it's batted down, and I think Cal Strand got a hand on it.
Yes, he did. They go with the quick throw, and the defensive end very wisely knows that with a quick, 3-step drop and the ball coming out, he's not going to get to the quarterback. Reads it well, timed his jump, batted it down.
2nd and 10, Grizzlies. Raiders 47-yard line. And good snap, dropping back. Dean looking over the middle. Again, he's going to scramble, and boy, this time, he's able to drag tacklers down about the 43, but pretty well defended. There's about 3 tacklers got a hold of him, but boy, it wasn't much open.
Yeah, good coverage, and this time, he's so big, and nobody was able to square him up. I mean, all the hits were kind of from the side, so that big body's able to reach forward and get a decent gain out of it.
3rd and 6. Grizzlies now at the Raiders' 42-yard line, where you could be talking 4-down territory.
Out of the gun, looking to throw once again is Dean, and he puts it over the middle. It's batted and falls incomplete. And didn't see who got the hand on that one.
Yeah, I didn't either, as I was looking for the hit. And boy, if the receiver had caught this one, he was going to pay the price for it. And but the ball tipped and really had no chance. The ball being tipped also meant you can hit the receiver even if the ball hasn't gotten there, so no interference call.
So, well, one of the Raiders looks like Jake Wilbert kind of shaking up on that, and they're going to take a break here and kind of catch their win with 7:11 left in the first half. Frontenac the 10-9 lead, and Grizzlies facing a 4th and 6 from the Raiders' 42-yard line. Well, we'll see. I don't know if they're.
I don't think this is anything serious. It was just the kind of the collision,
right.
And probably just a little shaken up from the collision.
So I'm trying to see. It looks like Dean's over on the side, so I'm guessing maybe the Grizzlies going to go ahead and punt.
Yeah, it looks that way. I'm a little surprised, but your defense has played well the last couple series. Why not pin them deep? See if you can get a good field position out of it coming back.
So 4th and 6 Grizzlies from the 42 of the Raiders. Phillips back to punt, and the Raiders not thinking they're going to punt. They're in the regular defense right now, playing safe. And he takes a few steps, then puts it away, and boy, kind of puts it off the side of the foot. Spiral, one of those will take a good roll. Boy, it did. And it's going to be down about the 3-yard line, and very fortunate because it was heading for the sideline, and it decided to hug that sideline, and ends up being a nice punt.
Yeah, I don't mind that defensive call, though. You know, why not? Yeah, you might have saved yourselves a few yards, but play it safe. Make sure it's no kind of fake or anything, and you just kind of take what you get.
So 1st and 10, Raiders will start from their own 3 this time. They're going to have to get something going on defense like they did early on that ground. And big problem's been the snap. I mean, they've had trouble. That's kind of put them in a hole numerous times.
Honestly, I'm surprised they're still going under center.
1st and 10 Raiders from their own 3-yard line. Brown under the center. This time they get the snap, and there's the give, and that's the tailback. And trying to see, was that Alex Johnson in there? Yeah, Alex makes it out to about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, Wilbert's still kind of licking his wounds on the sideline a little bit, so the sophomore Johnson getting in there. And, you know, decent gain on 1st down. You can't argue with that when you start on your own 3.
So 2nd and 6 Raiders from their own 7-yard line. Down to 6:31 left first half. Frontenac 10-9 lead. Hesson goes wide right. Slot right's Ginnivan. Tight left is Roseboro. Running backs in the eye, and now they're going to get, is that going to be I think maybe they're going to say, looked like Lloyd came off late and came to the sideline, and maybe they had too many men in there. He just cut across the line and went to the sideline. They're going to wave it off? No, they're going to give the mark off half the distance. So now they're back to the 4.
It was just kind of a strange call, but.
So back to where we started. 2nd and 10. Raiders from their own 3-yard line. Well, rolling right is Brown. He's got room to run. No, he does throw it underneath, and that is complete. And now a penalty flag goes down. It's Clothier on the receiving end, and he's brought down about the 11. And it looks like the Raiders.
They're acting like it's on them.
Yes. And interference.
Yeah, they're calling offensive pass interference. The only thing I can think of is, you know, the tight end was also in the area. And maybe they're saying he was contacting one of the defenders when the ball was in the air. Maybe I didn't honestly see that. I could possibly see it as to where maybe thought that Brown was going to take off running, so the tight end started to block, but I'm not sure.
Well, in any event, they gained a couple yards on the penalty. Now, what is...
Well, they ended up marking it off
from
half the distance from the spot, which I don't think that's correct. But in this case, kind of benefits Frontenac, so I guess we'll take it.
2nd and about 8, ball outside the 5. So we did gain a couple of yards, and somehow out of the gun.
Brown blocking back to his right side. Well, one wide out right, two left. Brown's going to keep it. Splits a couple of defenders and dives out. He's out near the 7-yard line.
When the Raiders just, they're missing a couple of blocks that would just spring things wide open. The man who made the tackle kind of was able to shed his man. If that guy gets blocked, Brown's got a nice laying, probably gets a big pickup, probably a first down for sure.
3rd and 6 Raiders from their own 7-yard line. Clock moving down to 5:35. Frontenac the 10-9 lead. Wide left Gideon. Joined out there by Wilbert along with Ishamira. And they fake the hitch, and they got a man open long, putting it up for grabs, and it's overthrown. The pass was intended for Wilbert, and it just went too long.
Well, went with the double move, went with the hitch and go. And to be honest, I thought the receiver took one false step where he kind of slowed down just a hair and then tried to speed up to catch back up to it. Brown put plenty of air under the ball, just not able to quite catch up to it. Would have been a huge play.
5:22 left first half. Frontenac the 10-9 lead. Punting situation. Harris in the end zone. Good snap, plenty of time, gets the punt away, routes it out of there. Hits this one better. Coming near side, you got to get it covered, boys, and it takes a roll into the Grizzlies' territory, but on the return is Henson, takes it up the middle, got some room, and he breaking free, slips on the cutback, and he is down at the 25-yard line. Well, they had the nice punt. There wasn't much coverage.
Well, it just didn't seem like anybody from Frontenac took off, to cover it. It was a nice high kick, had plenty of hang time to it, nice distance to it. Didn't really outkick the coverage, just the coverage team was just kind of trotting down the field. Had plenty of room to be able to make some cuts.
So 5:08 remaining in the first half. Frontenac the 10-9 lead. Labette County, the Grizzlies with excellent field position. 1st and 10 from the Raiders' 25-yard line. Again, Dean the quarterback with Mayhew to his left. Looking to throw, looking to swing it left, is able to get it to Mayhew and flat, and he is nice open field tackle by Cooper Loy, limits it to a gain of a couple.
Yeah, really good tackle because it's strictly one-on-one, but Lloyd did go at him with a little bit of outside leverage, so if he was going to get by him, it was to the inside, which is smart, and he was able to get enough of his leg to trip him up, get him on the ground.
2nd and 8. Grizzlies from the Raiders 22, rolling right Dean, and he's going to tuck and run, and he is tripped up and brought down for no gain. Get him in there and also helping Mount Clothier.
Yeah, in a case, again, you don't let him get all the way to the outside. Ginnivan makes him turn it up the field. Clothier's coming from the inside. Ginnivan's able to get off the block and get back to him. So 2 good defensive plays by Frontenac, both just on leverage.
3rd and let's call it 6 for the Grizzlies from the Raiders' 21-yard line. Dean out of the gun, Mayhew's to his right now, shifts left. Got wideouts both sides, slots both sides. Now a timeout taken. This one by Labette County with 4:10 remaining here in the first half. Frontenac the 10-9 lead. Grizzlies face a 3rd and 6 from the Raiders' 21-yard line. So we're going to be a chess match here, and it hadn't been the cleanest first half, some turnovers and the like, but good ball game at the Raiders Sports Complex.
Yeah, you got 2 teams going at each other pretty hard out there, and this time the field position gamble on the punt earlier by Labette pays off. They get the stop, then they get the punt return deep into Frontenac territory. So the Raiders two good plays on 1st and 2nd down, but I would assume this is 4-down territory pretty much no matter what now. I don't even think this will be talking field goal range or anything like that. So you got to come up with 2 more stops if you're the Raider defense.
3rd and 6, Grizzlies from the Raiders' 21-yard line. And Dean out of the gun, Mayhew to his left side. Got wideouts both sides, slot right. Dean with the ball. And a quick slant, and he missed him. Boy, he was trying to hit, that was Walters, and he just let him by too much. Quick faked the handoff to Mayhew and went to the air and wasn't a well-thrown pass.
Yeah, I really think that is an RPO where he is reading that, and because I think that everybody else thought it was going to be a run. I'm not sure the tight end was particularly expecting it, but God, he threw it 100 miles an hour.
Big 4th and 6 for the Grizzlies from the Raiders' 21-yard line with 4:07 left in the first half, and the Raiders with that 10-9 lead. Same formation last time, 1 wide out left, a wide out right, slot right. Mayhew to the left of Dean, dropping back, looking to go, puts it up, and he throws it behind, let it drop. Yeah, hit the ground.
That was on 4th down, thrown behind the intended receiver, and the Raider defense holds.
Yeah, that's just it. It's a big cushion by the corner out there. This kind of skinny post again. It's open, but the throw well behind the receiver. The receiver had no chance, just a poorly thrown ball. But the Raiders come up with the stop. After giving up the nice punt return, they get the stop. 4 minutes to go in the half. See if they can get something going here and get some more points on the board before half.
1st and 10. Raiders will start from their own 21, and with 4:02 remaining, and up 10-9. Running backs in the eye behind Brown, who's under the center once again. Loy, the fullback. Wilbert, the tailback. Motion right to left goes Chastain, reversing out, and there's a give. Wilbert, boy, not much going. In fact, he was stopped for no gain. Tried to hurdle in there and just was nothing going.
Yeah,
now they're kind of selling out. They're stacking up front there. The defense is really putting those linebackers behind that line. And
yeah, they've not gone with the 4 deep defense. Now, they look like they're lining up in it right now, but most of this first half, they've only had 1 safety deep. They've been crowding the line of scrimmage a lot more, trying to shut down the running game.
So 2nd and 10 Raiders from their own 21-yard line. Coming out wide to the left is Loy. Slot left is Ginnivan. Wide to the right, Ishimura. Single setback Wilbert behind Brown, who's under center. With the snap, rolling left, looking to throw. Boy, the receiver wasn't even looking for the throw. Brown's hemmed in, tries to get rid of it. And he lost the football. They're calling it a fumble, and the Grizzlies have it.
Oh, they're going to call it a fumble. I really thought he tried to throw it, and this should be intentional grounding, but they're saying no throwing motion. The ball's on the ground. And really, Brown just trying to make too much out of this. At some point, you're going to have to take your losses. It's a rollout to the left, and he's trying to reverse field and go all the way to the right side. Listen, if it's not there, just either throw the ball away or turn it up and get what you can. Just trying to make too much out of it.
So 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies from the Raiders' 12 with 3 minutes left here in the first half. In Frontenac, the 10-9 lead is, boy, the Raiders self-destructing on offense here. It's trying to make too much out of nothing. And again, there's Mayhew, and he cuts past the original line, bowls over a tackler and dives down near the 3-yard line.
Well, you could see that time really well that he just was able to turn himself kind of sideways when he goes through that hole and just doesn't give much of his body to actually hit.
So 2nd and inches for the Grizzlies, and there's give Mayhew once again. Boy, this time he gets stacked up, and they're trying to push him, and he was nowhere near.
It looks like it's going to be enough for a first down, though. And it is a first down, so new set of downs, and I would be shocked if we saw anything other than straight up the middle.
1st and goal for the Grizzlies from the Raiders'
quarterback
1.
sneak.
Dean dropped the football, dribbled it into the end zone.
Yeah, he's in. Somehow the white hat called it from the backfield. The line judges, neither one of them made a signal.
No.
But the white hat called it, but I think it was a correct call. He fumbled the snap but was able to pick it up and just kind of dove right through the legs of the lineman.
Very fortunate right there to escape as he did drop it. Boy, both having troubles with the snap. Now going for 2 are the Grizzlies out of the gun. I didn't break the plane. Go ahead, boys. Yeah, one of the Raiders finished a little antsy, but he came from the linebacker spot and didn't get in the neutral zone.
Go black.
So now Dean behind the center, or in the gun, Mayhew to his left now, and he's going to keep it left side and dives, and he is in for the 2-point conversion. 2:28 left here in the first half. Labette County leads Frontenac 17-10. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
After 3 decades in business, Bittner Motors of Pittsburgh remains a local favorite. If you're in the market for a quality pre-owned vehicle, Bittner Motors has a large selection of late model, low mileage vehicles to choose from. Whether it be a car, truck, or SUV, Bittner Motors will warranty all the vehicles 100% for parts and service. And if you can't find what you're looking for on the lot, they will find it for you. Bittner Motors, 1018 North Broadway, Pittsburgh.
Rob Strandbeck with Randy Southern. 2:28 left first half. Labette County has a 17-10 lead over Frontenac as one of the Raiders got 2:28 to try to get something going offensively as the field position has shifted, and it's really been a struggle after the Raiders got out to that 10-0 lead.
Oh, it's been the turnovers and miscues by the Raiders have let Labette right back in it.
Ishimura from the 5 brings it straight up the middle, crosses the 20. He dives out near the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. So that's where the Raiders will start 1st and 10 with 2:23 remaining, down by 1 touchdown, 17-10.
And we'll see, Coach Smith is not one to not go for it at the end of a half. So 2:23 left. I would suspect that they'll put the ball up in the air and try to get on the board before half, cut into this lead.
As the Raiders will start actually from their own 28-yard line. Again, the running back's in the eye behind Baden Brown, senior quarterback under center. Gives it to Wilbert. And, boy, he again slipped on the cut, was able to get out across the 30, flirting with the 32-yard line. Decent gain on 1st down. It didn't look like there was much there.
Well, Brown bobbled that snap as well, but this time I thought there might have been a little bit of room to the outside, and he decides to cut it up. And, hard to argue with 3 or 4, but, every now and then they got to try to get to the outside too.
Let's call it 2nd and 7 for the Raiders from their own 31-yard line, down to 1:55 left here in the first half. Trips left side. In out of the gun, around at the quarterback, blocking back to his right side. And they do the hitch this time to get him, and he needs a block, gets a block, takes it to the near side. He is out across midfield, still on his feet. He could go all the way, one man to beat, and he's going to go in for the score. Boy, he was tight on a penalty flag. Oh, they're going to give him a celebration penalty.
Well, he spiked the ball in the end zone, but
you can't do that.
I know you can't do it, what a play he makes.
What a tightrope in that sideline.
And 2 guys tried to push him out of bounds, and both thought they got him. And the big man shows surprising speed, and he gets all the way down, and when he crossed the end zone, he spiked the ball. They go ahead and throw it. Now, the touchdown's going to count. You'll be able to do the try. The extra point will be from the normal. They'll mark 15 yards off on the kickoff. So Frontenac will end up kicking off from the 25-yard line more than likely. But what a play by the big man. He outran about 3 guys, and just the balance that he had on the sideline was remarkable.
About 68 yards, and boy, oh boy, that's big right here. There's the extra point attempt coming up, trying to tie things up. Wilbert to hold, Harris to kick. And they've run that, play every game, faked it and then run it, and it's always been successful. Snap's good, kicks plenty long. It is good. 1:33 left here in the first half, and we're even at 17. And the reverse now, I don't think Labette County is the type of team would take a knee here the last minute 33.
No, I guarantee they're going to put the ball up in the air for sure. And they've got a couple of timeouts to work with as well. We'll see what kind of field position they get out of this. Frontenac's been pretty good on kick coverage, but we're going to be kicking off from 15 yards back. I see Coach Smith down there kind of arguing possibly about the call. Maybe something else, though. I'm not sure. Because you can't really argue. You can't really spike it, in high school football, and he certainly did. But Coach Smith is having quite a conversation with the officials down there.
Yeah, I didn't see much on this end. I don't know if there was a celebration after Labette County had scored or got the 2-point conversion. May have been resulted from something along those lines. Who knows? In any event, the Raiders are going to have to kick off from their own 25. And Trey Ayers will tee it up there with 1:33 left first half, tied at 17. 68 yards, and in the past they've kind of faked that quick hitch. That time they hit it, got a good block. I can't remember who was holding the block here.
I think it was outside. Down the field was Wilbert. He outran one man at the line of scrimmage that I thought might have a play on him. Got a good block on the outside, then outran 3 more.
Anderson back to receive the kick. Also Henson driving end-over-end kick, and that drives Henson back inside the 20. He's out across the 25, the 30, hemmed in and drilled down at the 35-yard line, maybe the 36.
Really good kick coverage, and about 3 guys right at the point of attack broke down. Looks like that's Bollinger, Rayo, and Pyle, all sophomores on the kick coverage team. Great job getting down there, breaking down, and sure tackles.
And they're going to try and get her going here as the Grizzlies ready to go 1st and 10. From their own 37-yard line with 1:27 remaining, tied at 17. Dean out of the gun. And again, Mayhew, the running back, lines up behind him. They've got wideouts to both sides, slots to both sides.
Looking to the sideline to get the play call. Mayhew goes to the right side of Dean. With the snap, rolling right. Trying to turn the corner. Pumps once, finds a man short, and it is complete. Boy, Bosley, he didn't go out of bounds. That kind of helps things as Josiah Rexwinkle, and they're able to pick up about 6 on that completion.
Yeah, and the Raiders now, they're actually going to a 4-deep zone coverage as well. They're going to take away the long ball, so the corner had to go deep with the receiver running a flag route to the corner and left the receiver underneath open, but did us a favor, stayed inbounds.
And looking to go along. Dean forced to scramble, trying to turn the left corner. He's able to get around there and has some room, and he does go out of bounds down at the Raiders' 45-yard line.
Well, and I think his size, he doesn't look as fast as what he actually is. I thought a couple Raiders were coming up on him. Didn't really go full speed. Next thing you know, he's running by him, able to convert, although he didn't get as far as I kind of thought he did, marking it at the 45.
1st and 10. Grizzlies at the Raiders' 45-yard line. 51 seconds left here in the first half. We're tied at 17. Dean standing at midfield. Mayhew blocking back to his right. He's got a slot to both sides, wide out to both sides. And with the snap, a quick hitch left side, and it is complete and didn't get out of bounds. No, they did say he rolled out of bounds. Short gain of 5.
But, you kind of got to give that. The corner, he doesn't have a huge cushion. He makes the throw, and he comes up and makes the tackle right away. I mean, just good football right there. The offense taking what they're given, the defense making the play they should.
2nd and 5. Grizzlies from the Raiders' 40. They fake it, and now they're trying to go long and hemmed in, and, boy, he got rid of it. Big, strong guy, and they had a couple of defenders hanging all over him.
And the crowd's won a grounding call, but they're probably going to rule out of the pocket. I don't really know if that is a rule in Kansas. There certainly was no receiver anywhere in the area, but you're right. They tried to hitch and go. Ishimura, the corner, had none of it, had a really good coverage on the far side.
3rd and 5. Grizzlies from the Raiders' 40. And they're quick looking over the middle, and the ball loose. It's up in the air, and it's still on the ground. And one of the Grizzlies able to come up with it. And boy, oh boy, the Raiders had a shot at it, but Skylar Gatewood came up with it. And I think that was just loose ball. They lost 7.
Yeah, well, it's instant pressure, and he's going to try to have to hurry the throw. And I don't know if he got hit when he was throwing it or if the ball just slipped out of his hands. But, boy, it was back there a while.
4th and 11 for the Grizzlies from the Raiders' 47. Clock winding down to 10 seconds. I think they may take a shot last play here, see if they could come up with something. They do. Dropping back Dean. Need to get some pressure. He steps up, throwing it up, putting it up for grabs, and it is knocked down. Pass falls incomplete, and that's the end of the first half. We'll go into halftime with the Frontenac Raiders and the Labette County Grizzlies tied at 17. What a first half, and we'll have a unofficial stats, scoring summary, some goings-on at Frontenac schools after we take a 2-minute break. 2 minutes. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
If you want to improve your basketball skill set, you need to attend one of the Lane Lord basketball camps. Each camper receives individual attention and specific coaching adapted to age and skill level. There's something for everyone.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on
entering
campus.
3rd through 8th grade, a high school team camp
It's the
available on
knowledge
2
that
different
you
weekends
become
with both
part of
varsity
something
and JV levels of competition.
We're a family of Crimson and Gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference
Everybody wants to stand out.
without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburgh State University.
Since 1945, Tri-State Building has been helping build the four-state area, providing quality construction services and dependability at competitive prices. Tri-State Building has a reputation as a general contractor and an authorized Butler builder, which holds experience, quality, and reliability above all other considerations. Tri-State Building has built a multitude of projects and is your full-service design build contractor that can take you from concept to grand opening. For an honest and proven contractor, call us, Tri-State Building.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Since 1945, Tri-State Building has been helping build the four-state area, providing quality construction services and dependability at competitive prices. Tri-State Building has a reputation as a general contractor and an authorized Butler builder, which holds experience, quality, and reliability above all other considerations. Tri-State Building has built a multitude of projects and is your full-service design build contractor that can take you from concept to grand opening. For an honest and proven contractor, call us, Tri-State Building.
Unofficial stats and scoring summary. The Labette County Grizzlies, Easton Dean, unofficially 11 carries, 27 yards and a touchdown. TJ Mayhew, 14 carries, 63 yards and a score. And Keyshawn Anderson, a carry for 5 yards. Easton Dean through the air, 7 completions and 16 attempts, 59 yards. The Grizzlies did lose an interception and a fumble, so 2 turnovers in that first half. Frontenac Raiders, Jake Wilbert, 9 carries, 37 yards and a score. Peyton Brown, 5 carries, 4 yards. Alex Johnson had a carry for 4 yards and through the air. Peyton Brown, 2 of 4, 151 yards and a touchdown. And the Raiders did lose 2 fumbles, and again, one of those resulted in a safety. So kind of a roundabout way. We got to 17 all tie here at halftime. The Frontenac Raiders scored first with 9 minutes left in the first quarter, converting on a turnover by the Grizzlies. Jake Wilbert scored from 3 yards out. Trey Harris was good on the extra point. Frontenac led at 7-0 with 9 minutes left in the first quarter. Then with 2:45 remaining in quarter number 1, Trey Harris connected on a 25-yard field goal. That gave the Raiders a 10-0 lead with 2:45 left in the first half. That's where the first quarter. That's where we ended the first quarter. The Raiders up 10-0. Second quarter, first play of the second quarter. Labette County scored on a yard dive by Mayhew. The extra point kick by Phillips was good. It was Frontenac 10, Labette County 7 with 11:58 left in the first half. Then with 8:45 remaining in the first half, a safety as Peyton Brown couldn't find the handle on the football or an errant pinch, whatever the case. He did do well to get back on it because there's about 3 Grizzlies had a golden opportunity to fall it in the end zone for a score, but got a little greedy and popped out of there. Brown got it, kept it to a safety, and the Raiders still led 10-9 with 8:45 left in the first half. Then with 2:28 remaining in the first half, Dean went from a yard out from under center, about the only time under center, kind of dribbled it into the end zone and fell on it. They had trouble with the snap. The 2-point conversion by Dean as he hurdled the defensive line. And Labette County had a 17-10 lead with 2:28 left in the first half. Then with a minute 33 remaining in the first half, 68-yard touchdown pass from Peyton Brown to Brock Ginnivan. The extra point by Trey Harris, even things at 17 with minute 33 remaining in the first half, and that's where we are at the halftime. 17 all tie, and a very interesting first half. And like I said, didn't think just like the Raiders didn't sit on it, didn't think the Grizzlies would, and they ended up with an incomplete pass inside the 10 on the last play of the first half. So very entertaining ball game, and well, like I said, 2 teams really getting after it here this evening.
Yeah, it hasn't really been the prettiest thing. You've had turnovers by both teams, penalties more on the Raiders than Labette County, and not unfairly or anything. Just Raiders have made a few more mistakes. So mistake riddled, but boy, fought hard, and you got 2 teams really going at it.
At halftime, Frontenac and Labette County tied at 17. We'll take another 2-minute break and then take a look at what's going on around Frontenac. After 2 minutes, you're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling is the most important service an insured needs.
Claims, our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just the sale policy, but also they're going to claim first to make sure it gets handled.
Ryan Insurance in Pittsburgh. Trust the trust agency. Find them fast. Names and numbers.
No one but a wage garnishment can make it hard to pay the rent, pay the pharmacy, or the family. bankruptcy can be a violent. Call Steve Stockard at Wilburn and Towner, 620-231-5620 for a consultation to find out bankruptcy rights. How much bank? Never empty ice.
Rob Strand back with Randy Southern, the Raiders Sports Complex. Halftime tied at 17. The Frontenac Raiders and Labette County Grizzlies, and they had the Frontenac dance team out on the field and the Frontenac marching band and entertaining the crowd here. And a lot going on as some of the seasons, some of the student athletes, the waning part of their seasons here in the fall. And Randy's got an update of some of the goings on.
Yeah, looking at girls golf this week. On Tuesday, they had the league meet hosted by Baxter Springs. Had two girls get all-league honors. Michelle Morissette for getting third place and Faith Hill fourth place, both all-league. And then had one honorable mention, Deanna Green. She placed in seventh. So a great job by the Lady Raider golf team this year. They've got regionals coming up on Monday. Looking at cross country this week, they were at Independence. The girls as a team placed third. They had two medalists, Jessica Peterson fourth and Gracie Stover at 14th. And the boys had one medalist this week, Skylar Campiti, who really has ran pretty well all year long for the boys. Next week, the cross-country team has the league meet, and this year being hosted by Columbus. It's been hosted by Girard the last several years down at Greenbush, but Columbus getting it this year. So league meet next week for cross-country, and then they'll have regionals after that. The volleyball team, I apologize to everyone. I just don't have the results of how the girls did this week. I know they played in the Chanute tournament last weekend, and then Tuesday played Columbus and Baxter. I just wasn't able to find out how the girls did. I know next week they play on Monday. They play at Southeast. They go against Columbus, Southeast, and St. Paul. And then I believe they've got Sub-State coming up. I believe that's next weekend. I could be wrong. We'll double-check that and let you know next Friday.
So some of the goings on with some of the other Raiders student athletes is, again, getting toward the end of their season, and while the football team's getting about 2/3 of the way and heading toward district play next week, as the Raiders will be on the road, head to Parsons to take on the Vikings to open district play, and meanwhile the Grizzlies will entertain Independence. So again, a good one going here, tied at 17 at halftime. We also mentioned that it is Festa week end, as the Festa Italiana tomorrow here at Frontenac, and again, gates open at 4:45. Food service begins at 5. They've got a lot going on. Mario's Market, also a live auction, and they also have raffle drawings. They have entertainment, so a lot going on. And boy, it looks they're calling for rain early in the morning all through until about noon, I believe, so it ought to clear off. And they have the tent set up outside the softball field, and expecting a big crowd, so come on out again, Festa Italiana tomorrow. And while we're at it, I guess we ought to go over some of the new classifications for next year as kind of a different format. Of course, Frontenac will drop down to 3A, and they will be in District 1 of 3A, and they'll be joined in that district by Baxter Springs, Caney Valley, Columbus, Galena, and Parsons. And again, those are the teams in the district, and they'll play them, wrap up the season. The other games, from what the others understand on the front part of the schedule, will be Colgan and Riverton. And at this juncture, apparently an opening in week 1 they're trying to fill. So that's kind of looking forward to next season, what they have in store as far as the Raiders, kind of a different setup district-wise. And should be kind of interesting, just bigger districts. And then they go basically seed them for that 9th game and then go on into the playoffs. So a little different formula for next year for the football. And that'll be an interesting too. But one of those things. They kind of shuffled some of the classes and the like and rearranged and the like. So it'll be a little different look next year, and who knows what's going to be that week 1 next week. I know some of the options that are being discussed, but you're going to have to wait and see till they get that lined up. And boy, Labette County came out kind of early. If they still got a 3-minute mandatory warm-up, unless that's what's on the clock right now, because here comes Frontenac, and usually that's not the way it works. They wait, but Frontenac coming out too, and Labette County already warming up again. The Raiders won the toss, deferred the second half, so they'll have the opportunity to take the football to start the second half, but tied at 17. So why don't we take another 2-minute break? 2 minutes. You're listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
Hi. But I'm also state offers.
Oh, sorry. These are from the senior class.
That's pretty.
No, not the ones in here at least.
Oh, okay. Did they get all
Like,
Okay. I should mention that. I'll mention it too. Get down there and buy some stuff too.
Okay.
$10 cents for each swipe. After the first 15 swipes. Qualified.
Rob Strand back with Randy Southard at halftime. Frontenac and Labette County tied at 17. Both teams warming up prior to the start of the second half. And then again, the Raiders will have the choice management. They'll take the football. Reminder, now if you are here, the senior class is holding a bake sale. And they have goodies and individual bags for $1. And they have some left over. So if you're within earshot or at the game, go on down and buy it. And probably have it around toward the end of the game. But in any event, raising money for Project Grad, I believe, so you might want to check some of that. That's some good sweets. It's health food, so go ahead and partake. We were keeping an eye on some other games in the area. Do you have any updates on those scores?
Sure, got some halftime scores. Galena up on Columbus 26-14. So a little bit of a surprise there, if you ask me. I thought the 2 touchdown leads big. Carl Junction 23, Pittsburgh 7 at the half. Colgan 36, Riverton nothing. Girard 33, Southeast nothing. Baxter Springs 27, Northeast 6. Fort Scott 35, Coffeyville 14. All of these halftime scores, and then I've got a 1/3 quarter score, or no, I'm sorry, late second quarter still. You've got Chanute has just taken the lead back on Parsons 30-22. So a battle going on in the SEK.
Interesting. Some area scores we'll be keeping our eye on, as well as the second half. And I guess 17 all at halftime, been an eventful, not the, I guess not the cleanest first half, but I mean, you kind of look at it and scratch your head and just boil it down. There's 2 competitive teams out there getting after it.
Well, and Frontenac got the better of it in the very beginning of the game, getting off to the 10-0 lead off the 2 turnovers, able to turn those into 10 points. But then, the second half of the first quarter and the good section of the second quarter, really Labette County carried the play. They took the lead. Frontenac ties it on the really long play and a great individual effort by Genevin. But, you kind of look at who had the better of it in the first half. Really, you'd have to say Labette County had the better of the play. I think if they were probably coming out of the locker room pretty quickly, because I'm not sure their coaches had a whole lot to say to them. Boys, keep playing like you're playing. Everything ought to be okay.
Yeah, and they, they were getting after it, and you could really see you look kind of at the stats, time of possession's got to be very slanted, and field position. They kind of shifted the field there after Raiders started off strong. But, hey, give them credit. You had the lead, you lost it, and you came right back and got it, and you got the football. So anything could happen this second half.
And if you're the Raiders this half, I think, offensively, either get the snap from center, either get that down and no more bobbles on that, or you've got to just go shotgun the rest of the game. because you just can't afford those mistakes anymore. Because really, offensively, if they just eliminate the turnovers and the penalties, they've been able to do some things on offense fairly effectively. So take out the mistakes, the Raider offense should be okay. Defensively, I think the biggest adjustment's got to be with the linebackers on getting into those holes a little more properly, so they can shut down that run game. Seemed like when Labette County did nothing but throw the ball, and you knew they were going to do nothing but throw the ball, the Raiders were able to defend that pretty well. So if you can take away that run game, force them to have to throw the ball every down, I think that favors the Raider defense.
And, you come in here and Labette County, pretty gaudy stats. Of course, they had the Pro Bowl against Danville. Just the power. They were an excellent ball club. But all in all, I mean, even when they had time to throw, it looked like the defensive backs had receivers pretty well covered.
For the most part, yeah. There was one time where they had a wide open receiver running deep. For the most part, the Raiders defensive backs have done very good, and the rush by the front four of the Raiders has been excellent, and not let the quarterback scramble out to the outside that kept him in the pocket.
And Phillips from the 40 drives one, and it's into the end zone. The Raiders will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
And a line drive booed, and I thought Ishimura might think about catching it, but I think wisely let that one go.
So 1st and 10, Raiders will start from their own 20 and see if they can get something going offensively. And main thing, try and work in front of the sticks. They've had had some momentum going, and then had issues and had the 3rd and long and couldn't convert, and that creates where your problems start.
But that's either mishandled snap puts you behind it or a penalty puts you behind it. It's just self-inflicted wounds. You take care of that stuff, the Raiders, I think, are okay.
1st and 10. Frontenac will start from its own 20-yard line. Starting the second half, tied at 17. Out of the gun, Brown. Going to keep it. Try the right side. Got some room, and he busts out across the 30 and out near the 31, maybe the 32, and he's got a first down.
Oh, and this was close to being bigger. It was a really saving tackle made. Really well blocked. They go into the shotgun, not under center. You get just a straight quarterback keep. It's almost like an ISO. You get Loy with the lead block. Good hole on the right side of the offensive line. Loy with a good block. And, boy, he was almost one-on-one with the free safety.
1st and 10 Raiders now from their own 31-yard line. Trips left. And, again, they're trying at the right side again. And this time Brown's hand in, but able to lower his shoulder, try and turn the corner to pick up a couple of tough yards. Not much there that time, but kind of tried to go inside, nothing there, and he tried to bend it to the outside.
Well, it was the exact same play, but this time the defensive end, Caleb Haggard for Labette, does a good job of coming down in and realizing it's the same play. He's the one that made Brown have to bounce out to the outside and just not able to get around the edge.
7 carries, 16 yards for Brown, and a 2nd and 9 for the Raiders. They're at their own 32-yard line. Again, out of the gun. Verse out, give their tailback. That is Wilbert, and he spins, and boy, not much doing. Well, he's still battling, flirting with the 35.
But it just seemed like that one took forever to get going, just almost slow in the backfield.
So 3rd and 7, Raiders shy of their own 35-yard line with 10:43 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, tied at 17. Play comes from the near side.
Well, it's just early in the 3rd quarter, but this is kind of a big conversion. Oh, the Raiders really need to convert this. You'd hate to, get one first down and then have to punt right after it.
Wilbert comes wide left. Chastain wide to the right side. Brown looking to throw. Some pressure. Scrambling right. Puts it up. Well underthrown. Actually, nobody open, so maybe just unloading.
Yeah, running for his life. Not a lot of time. And then good coverage on the back end. Had a deep receiver covered, had the tight end crossing the field. He was covered. He had to roll out to the right, so the backside doesn't matter at that point. Just kind of threw that one away wisely. Didn't try to sneak that one in there because it probably would have been picked. Smart to just throw that one in the dirt and fight another day.
4th and 7 for the Raiders from their own 35. Punting situation. Good snap. Harris with it. Punts it away high, one near side. That's going to hit. Take it where you got to get it covered. Boy, again, they're targeting and covering the thing, and picking it up is Henson, and boy, he was able to make a decent return out to about the 33.
Yeah, that ball was way up in the air. There's really no reason why the coverage team shouldn't have been all over that ball. The ball hit the ground. And you've got to cover that one a little bit better. You're giving them 5 yards of field position. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but it's not necessary.
Well, if the ball keeps rolling too, but that hadn't been a problem to this juncture. I don't know why all of a sudden they're a little reluctant to get that covered. 1st and 10, Grizzlies will start from their own 33-yard line, and they're that speed to left side, turning the corner, and boy, he's got some room, and that is Keyshawn Anderson. It's a foot race. Johnson trying to catch him, and he pushes him out of bounds.
Yeah, and I tell you, at first it kind of looked like the Raiders were doing a pretty good job just stringing it out, but he just kind of outran everybody to the corner, and when he turned it up, really nobody there. Johnson with good hustle from the backside, able to chase him down, showing the speed that he has, and not to be a eavesdropper or nothing, but I just happened to hear right before that play, give it to him, give it to him, give it to him, coming from our assistant coaches right next to us in the booth.
1st and 10, Grizzlies from the 29 of the Raiders now, with 9:52 remaining in the third quarter, tied at 17. And this time Dean's going to keep it, take it straight up the middle, still on his feet. Boy, you got to hit him, and he's going to go in. Oh my gosh. 29-yard touchdown run, and man, the Raiders had shots at him, just didn't look like they wanted to tackle him.
Well, it's the defensive backs in the backfield for the Raiders are not terribly big, and you're right, they didn't go after him all that hard, but boy, what a good call. You just get a good run from your running back, so you fake it to him to the outside again, and the big quarterback and an intentional run right up the middle, and had a good hole to run through.
So the Grizzlies will attempt to add the extra point, and it is good. 9:43 left, third quarter. Labette County leads Frontenac 24-17. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac football on 103.5 FM.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco. Safety each and every day. They build a future by protecting their customers, members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road at home or across North America, and Australia, their policy is to ensure that they deliver their load safely and wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
Rob Strand back with Randy Southard. We have 9:43 remaining third quarter. Labette County leading Frontenac 24-17. And Phillips tees it up at the 40 for the Grizzlies. Back to receive the kick for the Raiders. Brendan Ishamira, joined back there by Grant Chance and also Alex Johnson. See if the Raiders can get a return, get decent field position, and cut into that 24-17 lead of the Grizzlies. End over end, going Chance's way. And he's going to take it inside the 5, bobbles it, picks it up, comes straight up the middle. And he is slung down at the 22-yard line. Good field position.
Yeah, the bobble there really kind of slowed Chance up, not able to get a head of steam going as he made the return. With the bobble, probably fortunate to get it out past the 20.
1st and 10. Raiders will start from their own 22-yard line with 9:37 left third quarter. And Labette County with a 24-17 lead. And senior quarterback Peyton Brown in there with the play. And he'll line up in the gun. Behind him, Jake Wilbert. Walking back to his left is Loy. Here's a give. Wilbert tries left side, got some room and cuts inside the 30, out to the 35, first down, and he battles his way out to the 39-yard line. Nice gain on first down.
Yeah, and good job left side of the offensive line. Really good blocking. Had a nice run, had a nice hole to run through, and then was able to break the tackle of the linebacker and get that first down. But good job up front. I think that's Kaufman and Harris on the left side of the line.
1st and 10. Raiders from their own 39-yard line after that first down. Clock moving down to 9:23 left third quarter, 24-17. Labette County with the lead. Wide to the right goes Hess on wide left, Chastain. Again, same setup. Brown in the gun with Wilbert out behind him. Lloyd to his left, option left side. There's a pitch to Wilbert. Needs a block, and boy, nothing there. And is able to maybe avoid losing anything, but boy, not much there.
Yeah, good defense on the option. This time the back does go the right way, gets the pitch, but the Labette County defenders just didn't give any ground with the blocks, and there's just really no place to run.
2nd and 10. Raiders from their own 39-yard line is now entering the backfield for the Raiders. Riley McDaniel. Wide to the right goes Gideon. Wide to the left is McDaniel. Out of the gun, Brown with the blocking back. Lloyd to his right. Rolling right. Got some time. Puts it up. Got a man open. And a sliding catch made by Gideon just short of the first down out at the 47-yard line.
And this is on time, a timing route, but we would love to have seen him run this route one more yard. But a good fakes the deep one, breaks it off for the out pattern, throw on time, good by Brown. Would love to have seen him run that maybe one more yard downfield to pick up that first down, but it does set up a third and very short.
And had a little time to get that pass off as he was rolling to the right, and Gideon got open, made a sliding catch. So 3rd and 1 for the Raiders from their own 48-yard line. Again, out of the gun is Brown. He's needing a yard, takes it right side, and that boy, he didn't come near it. Yeah, boy. He started up the middle and then tried to go outside for some reason and was actually thrown for a loss.
Yeah, I think that defensive end learned on that play in particular. He doesn't really have outside contain, so he's coming inside and taking away the inside run for Brown, which is where you want to be. Brown has to try to bounce it out. Well, there's only one tight end on that side. There's really nobody else to block and not able to pick anything up. Looks like the Raiders are going to go for it here on 4th down.
4th and 2, Raiders from their own 47-yard line. Boy, a big 4th down with 7:15 left here in the 3rd quarter. 24-17, give left side. Wilbert's got the first down into Grizzlies territory down to the 48. Boy, that was pretty ballsy.
It was, but I tell you, you go behind the left side where most of the holes, the best blocking tonight has been that left side of the line when they've had a hole. So you go behind Harris, you go behind Kaufman, they get the job done, and a good hard run by Wilbur.
So 1st and 10, Raiders. Football resting just inside the Grizzlies' 48-yard line. Down to 6:57 left, 3rd quarter. Again, Labette County with the 24-17 lead. Wide to the right goes Ishamira. Tight left is Ginevan. Running backs in the eye now. Oh, man, they lined up wrong, and timeout forced to be taken. And, boy, Coach Mark Smith isn't happy because wide out lined up on the wrong side. 6:45 left, 3rd quarter. 24-17, Labette County with the lead. And we'll keep it here as Raiders with a big conversion right there.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't afford, at this point, down 7, with the way the momentum of this game has been. You just really couldn't afford to punt the ball away quickly again. So you go for it, you convert it. Now you hate to use the timeout here in the second half, but penalties have just killed the Raiders in the first half, and really all season long they've really hurt the Raiders. So Coach Smith decides to call the timeout to save the 5 yards. But an important drive, you don't necessarily have to get points, but you need to possess the ball for a while and maybe get a little confidence offensively.
So after that, Raiders forced to call the timeout. They'll have a 1st and 10. Again, football resting inside the Grizzlies' 48-yard line. Wide left is Brendan Ishamira. Get him in tight to the left side. And rolling near side. Brown's got some room, and he lofts one intended for Ginnevan, and the boy kind of behind him and too tall. Well, I think he had an option to kind of try and turn that corner and get some yardage on foot.
Yeah, it would have taken just a perfect little teardrop throw to get it into Ginnevan. The interesting thing was when everything looked like it was going to Ginnevan, the corner came up and left Ishamira. I think you're right, too. Probably the wiser move would have been to tuck that and run with it himself.
2nd and 10, Raiders from the Grizzlies' 48-yard line. Down to 6:40 left here in the 3rd quarter. 24-17. Labette County touchdown lead. Hessong wide right. Chastain slot right. Tight to left is Roseboro. Out of the gun, Brown flanked on both sides. And there's a give to Wilbur. Got some room up the middle. Dragging tacklers. Nice run down to about the 42-yard line. Well, I think here you're talking 4-down territory for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another case where the linemen just not quite staying on their man. They just need a split second longer. Keep your feet moving a split second longer, and he's clean through the hole, and he'll be able to make a move on the DB. But he's kind of dragging people through the hole, and that could have been a lot better play if the lineman will just get a hair better block.
3rd and 4, Raiders from the 42 of the Grizzlies. Under the center this time, Brown gives it to Wilbur. Now a timeout called by the Raiders prior to the snap. And I don't know. It looked like everything was set up right. I'm not sure exactly what the problem was. They started the play and stopped it. Said the timeout was called before the snap. 6:01 left third quarter, 24-17, and Labette County with the lead. Again, a good one going here at the Raider Sports Complex. Again, Festa Italiana tomorrow. You come on out. They got the tents up, and the rain should be out of here, and have a good time, and everybody's invited. Good food, a lot of entertainment, and you got the raffle and the auction and the like. So come on out, everybody's invited. And boy, got a good one going here as kind of a precursor to the Festa.
Yeah, good battle and probably good for both teams. Win or lose tonight, you want to have some competition sometime during the year. Both teams haven't had a lot of competition for a few weeks now. So it's kind of nice going into districts to have a game where you really got to come out and play, because in districts you're going to have one or two like that for sure.
Raiders 3rd and 4 from the Grizzlies, 42-yard line. Out of the gun, Brown. Lloyd blocking back to his left. He's rolling to the left, pressured, right side. Boy, avoids the first tackle. Oh, he tried to go long, and he was hit as he threw it. It fell incomplete. Boy, just too much of a rush off that edge, and boy, he stepped up, but just couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah, and really didn't have anything going on down the field. I thought he was going to take off running with it, and then decided to throw the ball and was hit as he threw. Lucky that it bounced incomplete, but good coverage downfield by Labette County.
4th and 4 Raiders from the 42. The Grizzlies down to 5:55 left third quarter. Again, 24-17. Labette County the lead. Yeah, we mentioned this juncture 4-down territory, and see if they can keep this drive going. Again, Brown out of the gun. Rolling left. Yeah, he's got some open and off the fingertips of Ginnivan. Little high, but boy, got both hands on it.
Yeah, you could say the throw's a little bit high, but that's a ball that has to be caught. He's right on the sideline. He's got enough for the first down. Didn't have to jump much, and the ball just went right through his hands. That's a ball that has to be caught.
So 1st and 10 as the Grizzlies defense holds, and opportunity was there, just didn't convert. Now the defense going to have to respond here. With 5:51 left here in the third quarter, and Labette County up 24-17. Grizzlies 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Dean out of the gun with Mayhew, the running back, to his right, giving Mayhew up the middle. Boy, this time they stack him up. He's able to pick up a couple, but good penetration there slowed him down and limited him to a couple yards.
Yeah, I think that looked like Cal Strand getting in there from DN, but Ishimura, I believe, from that linebacker, got in there and filled the hole much better.
2nd and 8. Grizzlies from their own 44. Starting to speed things up here. They get set and then look to the sideline to get the play. Wideouts both sides, slots both sides. Dean, the quarterback, with Mayhew to his right. Dropping back, looking to pass. Going long over the middle, overthrown. And, boy, Brent Chance was there. There was an opportunity. Russell made a dive, but it was a little long.
Yeah, and that's the case. They ran, 4 receivers all go. And Raiders, they're still kind of in a 3 deep. They've got one other safety, a little bit deeper, but not used to being in pass coverage. Receiver really was open. If the throw was a little bit better, then that's going to be a big play. So a lucky break for the Raiders.
Big 3rd and 8 for the Grizzlies from their own 44-yard line. If the Raider defense can respond here. Dropping back, Dean looking right side. Boy, he's looking in the flat. Now he got a guy long, but he's hemmed in, and he is... Oh, he got rid of it. That's Browning. There's nobody around. He called him down. The one on the side, they got him down.
Yeah, the white hat had him down as well. A good call immediately, but good hustle by Ginnivan to not let him get all the way outside in the pursuit as well.
So defense holds. Grizzlies will punt. They face a 4th and about 15 from their own 37-yard line. Phillips punt. Back to receive the kick is Shamira.
When it seems like the Raiders have been backed up all night, it would sure be nice to get something out of this return.
That was a good snap. Takes his time. Nice punt. Spiral. Ishmir does call for a fair. Lets it sail over his head, and it's going to roll down at the 6-yard line. Boy.
Well, those punts have been that way all night long. To me, it's a misalignment. Why doesn't he, he should be back about 5 more yards. It's about the 2nd or 3rd time that one's been kicked. He's been able to make the catch a couple of times, but, this one just kicked over his head, just on a line. And then, of course, it takes a good roll. So the Raiders backed up yet again, which has been really the story of the night.
Now you're kind of getting back there, maybe get that field position game going. And like I said, if you could get a break there. But, boy, I'd have to agree with you. It's kind of maybe too shallow for that. And Raiders going to start in a hole 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line. Again, out of the gun. Motion left to right goes Wilbert, and Brown's going to keep it left side, and he is out to about the 7. Able to short gain, and boy, whiff on some blocks there, and had an opportunity, and only picked up one.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Complete whiff on a couple of blocks, and trying the left side of the line has been blocking much better, but one complete whiff on the defensive end, and he makes the play because otherwise it was wide open.
2nd and 9 for the Raiders from their own 7-yard line. Clock moving down to 3:45. It's 24-17. Labette County with the lead. Brown now under the center with the running backs in the eye behind him. Now I believe a procedure call, but was that the quarterback? Was Brown moving his?
I think they've got this on the tight end on the far side. Okay. I thought I saw him show the number. So we'll back the Raiders up again.
Same old story. Shooting himself in the foot here, and now you're going to face a 2nd and 13. Football inside your own 4-yard line. Well, see if the Raiders can dig out of a hole here. They are in the gun. Brown, the quarterback, keeps it right side. He just lowered his head and just ran into the bad defender there after a gain of maybe a couple.
Well, in the last couple times they've ran to that side, he's had to try to bounce this one. So he kind of, I think, had that in his mind right from the get-go because the hole was there on the inside. If he goes inside, he's got a nice gain. Instead, he tries to go a little to the outside, ran straight into the defensive end, who instead of crashing in this time, stayed more with outside leverage.
3rd and 11 Raiders from their own 5-yard line. 2:57 clock moving. 24-17, play clock down to 6, now 5. See if they get it off. Running backs in the eye behind Brown, the quarterback, looking to pass. Going long, puts it up, and the receiver held up on his route. Didn't have a shot. It looked like it wasn't thrown that badly, and for some reason he stopped.
You're exactly right, Rob. The tight end just stopped running. I guess figured he was covered or something, so they're not going to throw it to me. I don't mind that throw at all. Throw it up there, see if your tight end can make a play for you. But he just stopped his route.
So the Raiders, another punting situation with 2:44 left here in the 3rd quarter. And Frontenac trailing 24-17. Grizzlies going to get good field position out of this. Good snap. Here's time. Nice punt. Get some coverage now. They got to sprint down there. It's going to take another hop, and I guarantee he's going to come up and take it on the run, and does. And this time on the cut, he slips down, and Loy brings him down at the 45-yard line. But still, it's a little tardy on the – I guess maybe you got to hold your block when you're in the end zone like that. Maybe you're thinking that. But
they're just pausing.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're just waiting for the ball to be kicked, which legally you're supposed to, but nobody ever does. And they never call illegal man downfield on that. And they're just waiting, giving up too much space.
2:35 left, 3rd quarter, 24-17. Labette County the lead. Grizzlies with the football, 1st and 10 from the Raiders' 45-yard line. In motion right to left, and there's a give, trying to turn the right corner, and getting the right corner to turn is Anderson. And did they get a flag? I believe that's the area where you're probably going to get the hold, or I guess you could get a chop block, but no, they got a hold.
Yeah, it's a hold, and I tell you that you talk about an unforced or unnecessary penalty. This is on the backside of the play. They're running a sweep to the left, and this is on the right side of the offensive line getting caught for the hold. So maybe turnabouts. Frontenac's been shooting themselves in the foot a lot tonight, so maybe this does it to Labette.
They kind of shifted. They got, again, on that right side on the defensive end and have, looks like they put Pyle on the left defensive end. Or is that maybe Rose? Well, they got him lined. I'm going to check this out. Roseborough's in there apparently at a tackle spot. In any event, after the mark-off, it is 1st and 19 for the Grizzlies from their own 44-yard line. Big defensive effort here needed by Frontenac with 2:27 left in the 3rd quarter, down 24-17.
Again, Dean out of the gun. Mayhew to his left. To the right side is Anderson. Motion right to left. Fake it to him. They're going to try and pass. Pressured. And he throws it up and he lofts it over. And it is
incomplete.
Incomplete. Boy, good effort by their Brant Chance. And he just kind of threw it up for grabs, I think, thinking that if the receiver would go up and get it, Chance almost had the pick.
Well, if he throws it another yard, he probably is able to go up and get it. A big size advantage out there, but good catch-up speed on the throw by Chance as the receiver was a little bit behind him, and then a good job going up and contesting the ball.
2nd, 19. Grizzlies from their own 46-yard line. Again, Dean out of the gun. They got a wide out to both sides, a slot to both sides. Mayhew, the running back, to the left of Dean as he looks to the far side, trying to get the play clock down to 3, to 2, to 1, and not going to get it off. Throw the flag. There you go, delay. That's going to put them back 5 more yards, where they'll face a 2nd and 24 from their own 41-yard line.
I suppose with the down and distance, you don't necessarily need to burn the timeout. Although I don't know what they're talking about. It was clearly delay of game.
And the flag was thrown unless they thought the official over in front of the Labette County bench was asked for the timeout. I don't know.
Well, maybe the coach over there saying, because he's having a talk with him, maybe they tried to call timeout and just didn't grant it.
Anyway, 2nd and 24. Grizzlies from their own 41-yard line. Again, Dean in the gun with Mayhew to his right. Looking, throwing left side, a hitch, and it is complete to Russell. He gets a block, and now Russell is loose, and he's got the first down, and boy, just a hitch, and it worked to perfection, and it looked like nothing was going there.
Yeah, he broke one tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then just kind of a foot race. Ishimura from the middle linebacker, probably good hustle just to get over there and catch him, but boy, you get them pinned back, bad down and distance, and they convert just on a little hitch.
1st and 10, Grizzlies from their own, the 32 of the Raiders. There's a give and turn in the right corner and a hold, but they didn't get it. Mayhew dancing close to a first down, and it looked to me like somebody had a hold of Gittiman's jersey big time.
Well, he does a good job to fight to the outside to end up forcing him to turn back, but there's no pursuit. I think that was a case where the linebackers were expecting the quarterback to keep it because he got that on the touchdown earlier. So the linebackers didn't pursue. They went after the quarterback after he handed it. He faked it up the middle. Linebackers went there. There was nobody coming.
And Dean's going to keep it left side this time, and he is loose, and then he is dragged down at the 14-yard line after a gain of about 7.
And it's a good hole up the, initially, but then the linebacker on that side ends up taking an inside route, got blocked, and allowed the quarterback to slide to the outside.
2nd and 3rd. 2nd and 3 for the Grizzlies from the Raiders' 13-yard line. Mayhew up the middle, and he got down about the 10-yard line. Got the first down.
And right now, all the momentum in this game going Labette's way. Could be interesting to see how the Raiders, respond to this. Having some adversity here in the second half.
1st and goal for the Grizzlies just inside the Raiders' 10-yard line. Dean out of the gun. There's good Mayhew up again. He is loose, but he's tripped up and brought down about they're going to mark it about the 4 after a gain of 6. Yeah, they're just wearing him down, and that was the one thing they said. They got, no two-way starters here, and it's showing here. There's Give Mayhew once again moving the pile, and it's going to be just short down to the 1.
And just lining up and pushing. I think here you'll probably see quarterback sneak. You got the big 6'7" quarterback, put him under center and just go. Then again, looks like they're going to hand it off.
3rd and goal from the 1. Mayhew again, and he got in from the yard out.
Well, they brought in actually like a fullback, unusual for the offense. They had 2 backs in there, brought in a big fullback to lead block for Mayhew. He didn't get in by much, but I think clearly got in.
So Mayhew from a yard out, and now swinging gate. Decide whether they want to go for 2 or kick it. Now they're going to shift now and try and kick it. Will Phillips out of the hold of Dean.
Yeah, a low snap. Dean comes down with the kick, and it got through there, limped through. 20 seconds left, third quarter, 31-17. Labette County the lead, and we'll just keep it here as, I think it's just a case that maybe that Raider defense on the field too much, wearing down now.
Wearing down, and then I think getting a little confused by a few things. You know, the linebackers having a little bit of a harder time figuring out whether the backs got the ball or the quarterbacks got the ball, and kind of guessing more than they are reading their reads, and it's leading to some more open plays for Labette.
So the Raiders going to, 20 seconds left here in the third quarter, going to get the football down 31-17. And see if they can get something going offensively, not shoot themselves in the foot and get back in this game with about a quarter to go. Again, we had talked about that's one thing, they have two-way starters non-existent here. They got, and they just have worn people down, and that's kind of a nice luxury. Raiders knew they had to go with more two-way players this year after graduation, and it was even at half, but a couple of scores by the Grizzlies here in the third quarter, and the Raiders got to come from behind. And the kickoff, Chance retreats back to his 6, comes out across the 15, the 20, spins out near the 25-yard line, so that's where the Raiders will start first and 10. There's 16 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and it does look like the Raiders getting a little worn down, and they've tried their best, on defensive line, both tackles and ends, to try to rotate kids. Now, of course, Frontenac playing a little short-handed, with Andrew Mays out tonight with an injury, with apparent shoulder injury. Expected to be back next week, but certainly that hurts. Not to mention he'd been playing tremendous football for the last 3 or 4 weeks for the Raiders, so Mays not being in there is a big loss for the defense.
And also center, original starting center, should be back after missing about the last 3 weeks, so we'll see how that goes. And that when you're getting back at district time, that's a good time to get back. First and 10, Raiders start from their own 25-yard line. There's a snap. Brown's going to keep it. Oh man, he tried to stretch it outside, and I think it's just got to go north-south and take the yardage.
Yeah, 2, 3, and 4 is better than getting tackled at the line of scrimmage. Trying to bounce it and make a bigger play out of it. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you.
So that's the end of the third quarter. We head to the fourth quarter. The Labette County Grizzlies lead the Frontenac Raiders 31-17. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
Rob Strand, Randy Southern, Raiders Sports Complex. We got 1 quarter to go. Frontenac trails Labette County 31-17. Been a good one as two teams going at it. Going to have some sore teams when they get up tomorrow. They've only been in the ball game, and boy, the Raiders just going to have to, try and get something going here and cut that 2-touchdown lead. But it's going to have to be the offense now to respond.
Yeah, the way this third quarter went, this to me, we've got to get some points on this drive or it could be bad, and there's a fumbled snap again. Brown, fortunate because he had to dive about 4 yards to jump on this ball, and that was already 2nd and 10. Going to set up a 3rd and 12 as yet another fumbled snap.
Raiders from their own 23 now as clock moving down to 11:39.
That's just hard to believe, Rob. We're in week 6. And I know the center has been in, but, this is the third week plus a half a game that he's been in there. There's no reason to be having fumbled snaps.
Yeah, it's a problem with under center, which sometimes maybe your shotgun snap may be high-low or something, but that hasn't been the problem. Going to the air, it is complete. Boy, you got to lean and get that first down. You're going to be a couple of yards short on the completion out to the 32-yard line.
Well, and again, that's the case, push the defender a little bit further and run that route to where you get the first down. It's a nice play, it's a nice completion, but you're short by, almost 3 yards. And if you're the Raiders right now, yeah, you're at your own 33-yard line, but I think you have to think about going for it here.
And I think they are. 4th and a couple, Raiders from their own, let's call it about the 33-yard line.
And I'd be surprised if they just try to draw them off sides. I think they actually run a play here.
10:35, clock's moving. Raiders down 31-17. Need a couple of yards to keep the drive going. And Brown's going to bootleg, hang on to the football and get that first down. Does, and he dives out near the 37-yard line.
And there, Brown doing what I think Coach has been wanting him to do a lot on that rollout. He probably could have tried to sneak a pass into that tight end there. He probably could have. And throughout most of the year, we've seen him do that. This time keeps it himself, shows a little bit of speed, and is able to convert the 4th down play.
Raiders 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Single setback behind Brown is Wilbert. Pitch, sweep, left side, and boy, he slipped and fell down and lost a couple.
And it's a case there. He tries to cut it in. Might have had a little bit of room to the outside, but hard to tell. Hard to argue with him trying to cut that one up, that time. And really the first time you've seen somebody slip on the field really shouldn't be wet. It hasn't rained in quite a while, but lost that footing. So just everything a struggle for the Raider offense.
2nd and 11, Raiders from their own 36-yard line. Down to 9.5 minutes remaining, and Labette County at 31-17 lead them. They did not get set, had to call the timeout. That's not being able to get that offensive set up right, and they're waiting to have them get set. Anyway, 9.5 minutes remaining, 31-17. Frontenac trails it, and like I said before, this is a big drive here. Need points to get back into this.
Yeah, and that could be big, having to call that timeout. And the players tried their best to get set up and get it off. Coach didn't think they could make it, but now the Raiders have no timeouts left. And where that could come important is, if you need a stop late in this 4th quarter, to get the ball back with the chance to tie or win, now you've got no timeouts, no way to stop this clock. So fully expect Labette County, to take their time on offense whenever they get the ball back.
So the Raiders with that 2nd, and that's called 11 from their own 36-yard line. And Labette County a 31-17 lead. We were tied at 17 at halftime, but the 3rd quarter dominated by the Grizzlies. And Raiders just not able to get anything consistently once again on offense. And defense been on the field a lot, and that's been a problem. They think they're getting a little worn down. See if the Raiders can keep this one going. Wilbert tries to turn the corner, does turn the corner, and lowers his shoulder out to the 45, a couple of yards short of a first down.
And I think the first time all night, a Raider running back or quarterback able to really get to the edge on a designed run. So good job by Wilbert, right side of the line, got some good blocks that time, able to seal everything to the inside, setting up 3rd and much more manageable.
Raiders 3rd and 2 from, close to their own 45-yard line. Get a couple yards here, keep this drive going. Boy, a nice penetration, give to Wilbert, and boy, nice effort. Bowled over tackler, dragging tacklers into Grizzlies territory. And a penalty as the defender pushed Wilbert when he was down, and Keyshawn Anderson a little overly aggressive, and boy, he did need that.
Well, and that run was all Wilbert because he got pretty much zero blocking. He gets hit as soon as he gets the ball in the backfield on early penetration. Breaks that tackle, manages to break another tackle, tries to run over the defender, finally gets tackled, and then you're going to add the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty too, so 15 more. But that one, all Wilbert. He hasn't played a perfect game tonight by any means, but he has ran the ball hard.
I thought that was Anderson that pushed him. I see going to the far side was Tate Phillips, and I don't know if that was the one who the penalty was called on or not, but he went to the sideline, and coach talking to him. In any event, after the play and the first down, and the Raiders going to get a few extra yards tacked on and get into Grizzlies territory and see if they can cut into that 31-17 deficit.
Real quick score update for you, Rob. Galena and Columbus in a battle now. Galena 26, Columbus 21.
1st and 10 Raiders at the Grizzlies' 33-yard line. Brown under the center with Wilbert the single setback. Fakes the give, and there's a hitch to get him, and he is loose, and he's tripped up and brought down inside the 20. Got past the first tackler, got the first down, and boy, he's about a step from going.
Well, and they got one-on-one out there, and he runs the hitch pattern, and the throw was a little bit low, and so when he makes the catch and makes a cut, he stumbled just a little bit because he beat the corner that was covering him, but the stumbled, because with the low throw, caused him to kind of get caught by the defender coming from the inside.
Raiders 1st and 10 from the Grizzlies' 19-yard line with 8:35 remaining. Labette County a 31-17 lead. We got to put the points on the board here. Out of the eye, fakes the give, rolling right. Brown pressured, puts it up in the end zone, up for grabs. Whoa, and luckily that wasn't picked off. As right there. That was Keyshawn Anderson had Ginnivan covered, and Ginnivan did well to turn into the defender, gave him a shove, and the ball popped up in the air and fell incomplete.
Yeah, the ball's just underthrown as the pressure put on Brown as he's rolling to his right. He just wasn't able to get enough on the throw because I didn't mind it. Ginnivan with the size advantage on the corner in the end zone. If he can get that thing up in the air and let Ginnivan go get it, he got a pretty good chance at a score, but just underthrown because of the pressure. Ginnivan doing a nice job to break it up and avoid the turnover.
8:22 remaining, 31-17 Labette County. Raiders 2nd and 10 from the Grizzlies' 19-yard line. Again, Wilbert the single setback behind Brown. Brown rolling right. Boy, he's running a right defender right there. And boy, he's thrown down back at the 24 and loses 5.
Well, and that looked kind of like a busted play because, Wilbert runs up like he's going to get the ball. And when he didn't, he almost turned around and looked like, what's going on. And then, again.
Unless he had trouble with the snap once again, it was bobbly coming out.
Yeah.
Maybe he had to find the handle and it threw everything off. Anyway, 3rd and 15 for the Raiders from the Grizzlies' 24. Now with 7:48 remaining. Again, 31-17. Labette County the lead. Wide left, Ginnivan. Slot left, Wilbert. Wide right, Ishamir. Out of the gun. Brown looking. He goes with the hitch to Wilbert. And, boy, he cuts inside.
Fumble.
Lost the football. And
Labette's got it. Well, this was kind of an odd play. They throw the little hitch, right at the line of scrimmage, but the ball was held onto and held onto and held onto. He threw it really late. By the time the ball gets out to Wilbert, the defense kind of knows he's out there. He tries to cut inside, doesn't secure it well enough. A hand gets in there, and you get the turnover, and the Raiders, again, just shooting themselves in the foot.
It's the third fumble lost. And, we've talked about it, the 2 losses we lost. 4 turnovers we lost, one of them a blocked punt, and then now you lose 3 here, and that's tough against the quality opponent. 1st and 10, Grizzlies. They'll start from their own 21-yard line after the turnover. Dean's going to throw. He's going to go long over the middle, and it is batted down. Nice defense by Johnson as he had Irwin covered.
Yeah, and they tried the all go down the, running straight down the field. And this time Johnson with a really good job staying with his man and was able to break up the passes that got there. Really good timing on it as well. But, Johnson with good hustle that time because I think he's the one that hasn't quite been getting back when they've had those 4 all goes.
2nd and 10, Grizzlies from their own 21-yard line. Again, Dean in the gun. And he's going to keep it up the middle, and boy, they ran right by him, and he's still on his feet, and he gets a first down.
Well, Ishamira comes on the blitz, and he comes untouched, but it was like he didn't know, should I go with the back or should I go with the quarterback? He kind of went in between them and got neither. Left a big hole up the middle for the quarterback to run through.
1st and 10, Grizzlies. Football resting at their own 32-yard line. Again, Dean out of the gun. Mayu to his left, blocking back up in front of him to his right with 7:04 remaining. And it's 31-17. Grizzlies lead and the football after the Raiders turnover. And there's give. There's Mayu. Not much. Got about 3 yards right side.
Yeah, Hayden Pyle in at the defensive end did a nice job coming across the ball. And then he knifed in, got into those legs, and was able to get him down immediately.
So 2nd and 7, Grizzlies from their own 34-yard line down to 6:40. And Dean out of the gun. Mayhew to his left. And he's going to pass, looking over the middle, forced to scramble, block in the back, and they did throw the flag, obvious pushed in the back as the defender had a shot at the quarterback, and they Well, they're going to call it a hold. It just looked like he pushed him in the back. In any event, Dean forces scramble, goes out of bounds, and the penalty flag trail on the play, and then, of course, the Raiders will take it.
Yeah, and it's just a two-man route and really good coverage all over the place. Double covered both men, nowhere to throw the football.
And after the mark-off, the Grizzlies will be just outside their own 20-yard line.
You know, the only problem with that, though, is, you know, they keep the down, and yes, you know, second and long, but, you know, you're down 2 scores. There's just 6:23 on the clock now, so, you know, at some point, you've got to be able to get off the field.
Now this should be a penalty just because they came from the sideline across the thing. They called it against the Raiders earlier, and they didn't this time as they set up the offense. Very strange. Anyway, they tried up the middle, nothing doing.
Finally,
Mayhew stopped and lost a yard.
Finally, Ishimura finally reads the play well, comes across, and this time he breaks down and just kind of engulfed him. So much better angle on it by Ishimura that time.
Now 3rd and 23 for the Grizzlies from their own 19-yard line. Again, clock moving, 5:55. Labette up, 31-17. Dean, option right side, pitches it. Turning the right corner, and boy, they got to give him down close to first down as he crosses the 35 out to the 37-yard line. A nice gain. Took a chunk of that yardage, actually about 17 yards.
And they just kind of outman you over there because they leave one man unblocked, but you know he's got to take the quarterback and protect gets the quarterback running, and then they've just got enough guys to block on the outside. And their receivers have done a real nice job of stock blocking out there.
So a punting situation, Phillips drops back, stands about at his 23 back to receive the kick, Ishimura. And he's a little deeper this time. 5:13, clock's moving, and Labette County up 31-17. The Grizzlies to punt. Kind of a sluggish snap, but he got it away. Had some pressure. Ishimura comes over and turn around.
Oh, no!
Oh, my gosh. And
I think he got on it.
Was that Alex Johnson hit it, and he was able to get on it. And it almost hit Brad Chance, who, again, they're looking to set up a block, not picking up the football. And, boy, I think that's one thing's going to have to be addressed at practice because that's been the last few weeks, a similar situation.
Well, that almost looked like Johnson touched that ball on purpose, like he was going after it to recover it and run with it. Boy, fortunate to get back on it. Because as he was trying to struggle to get it, he was dragging a Labette player who was trying to keep him away from it.
So 1st and 10, Raiders will start from their own 20-yard line. Ever the adventure with 4:55 remaining and Frontenac trailing 31-17. They're going to have to do something quick here. Wide right comes Hessong. Wide left, Ishimura. Out of the gun. That's Brown. Single blocking back. He's going to keep it left side. And he cuts out near the 25. Nice gain on first down, close to 5.
You know, and I know the Raiders are not an offense that, you know, really needs to throw the ball every single down, but we're underneath 5 minutes to go here. The Raiders need 2 scores just to tie this game up. You need to start seeing some urgency in and out of the huddle, and you probably need to start seeing the ball flying through the air.
2nd and 5, Raiders from their own 25-yard line. And Brown in the gun, looking to throw. Puts it up. It is caught in the first down, and trying to see who was on the receiving end, able to pick up about 8 yards, and that was Ginnivan.
Yeah, and just a quick hitch, and you would like to have seen him get that first down and then get out of bounds. He kept struggling for extra yards, but I think he caught this inbound, so the clock should start. Yep, as soon as their chains are set, they've winded it.
1st and 10, Raiders from their own 33-yard line down to 4:10 remaining, trailing 31-17, rolling right, Brown. And he puts it up, he got a man open, then it's Wilbert. Oh, he dropped it down at the 42, and again, one that should have been caught.
Yeah, this is a really nice throw on the run. Lofted it up very nicely, and it just goes right off the fingertips of Wilbert's. But well-thrown ball, and the Raiders just not able to make the little plays that you need to make to beat a quality team.
You know, and that was a similar situation with Galena. They were down by 3 scores and put it in the air, got within 1, and still had the football with about 6 minutes left, and you know, ended up turning it over, but put some pressure on them that way. That's your only option right now.
Yeah.
4:04 remaining, 31-17. Labette County the lead. Frontenac football, 2nd and 10 from their own 33-yard line. Again, out of the gun, Brown. Option pitch, sweep, and that is Loy. No, he ran into his own blocker. Cade Chastain got rudely
hit from behind. A nice gain. You're talking about 6 yards, but
and Chastain really has a pretty good block on the outside, and Lloyd just didn't read the block very well, quite frankly. He should have been going to the sideline, get around Chastain and the man he was blocking because he had him pinned.
3rd and 4 Raiders from their own 39-yard line. Quick hitch, and that is a first down. Ishmira shakes the first defender, and he is run out of bounds. Grizzly territory down at the 46. Nice gain.
And I believe he gets out of bounds. So be able to kind of rest for a minute, for a few seconds here. Chains move. They shouldn't be winding this one, right? And didn't wind the clock, so the clock will not start until they snap it.
So rolling left is Brown. Looking to go long. Got a man open, and that is Wilbert, underthrown and intercepted down at the 15-yard line, and he was burnt.
Yep, he was
torched.
Absolutely, and the ball fluttered on Brown when he threw it. He didn't quite get a tight spiral, and it's hard. You're rolling to the left. You got to try to throw this thing almost across your body. Didn't quite get his shoulder square. The ball fluttered on him a little bit, came up short, and it gets picked off.
And you're down the Raiders with no timeouts, and so 3:19 remaining in Labette County, a 31-17 lead, and
yet another turnover.
Oh, and had a shot. That receiver had the defender beat. You put it there, and the Raiders score, and they got a little bit of time for an onside kick, but all for naught right now.
Well, and surely here the Labette will keep it on the ground. They've got that fullback in the backfield as the lead blocker.
Andy, there's a give. Mayhew, right side, still on his feet, able to pick up close to 6 yards. He's had a nice night, 24 carries and officially 115 yards.
Yeah, he's got good speed, but he's just stocky, and it's how he changes. He slides his body, just kind of turns himself a little sideways that just doesn't give a defender much to hit.
2nd and 4, Grizzlies from their own 22-yard line, down to 2:50 remaining. Play clock getting down to 10, and I believe that's what they're checking. They're going to let that wind down, take as much time off the clock as they can, and salt this one away. There's Mayhew once again, and boy, still gets the first down, and that out to the 30.
Yeah, and it's a lot of arm tackles out there right now. Not Raider defense not doing a lot of hitting. I think a combination of being fatigued out there and then also knowing that this clock is winding down and you just had a chance to get something done, and looks like it's not going to happen.
1st and 10 Grizzlies, football just outside their own 30-yard line. Clock down to 2:20. Team looking to the far side with the play. Play clock down to 6. They'll snap it right before that hits 0. They do. And boy, they're going to throw. Dean forces scramble, and Ginnivan comes up and throws him down, and I'll tell you what, you can play it the way you want to, but you'd hate to see the big boy get hurt on a play like that. The situation they're in, they're still trying to fling the ball.
I have no idea why you call a pass right there. No idea whatsoever. You've just gotten 2 first downs running the football. You want the clock to keep running. Why on earth are you calling a pass? That makes no sense.
2nd and 10, Grizzlies from their own 30-yard line. Play clock down to 6. Dean, this time, going to give it Mayhew once again, and he's able to pick up about 5.
Yeah, Hayden Pyle, he's in there at that defensive end's made a couple of nice plays tonight in limited action, trying to give some rest.
So 3rd and 5, Grizzlies from their own 35-yard line, down to 1:10. Again, the Raiders with no timeouts. So.
Yeah, and all of it just, just bad, either not hustling and getting to the line or whatever you want to call it, has cost the Raiders all their timeouts in the second half.
Getting not lined up properly, and Dean's going to keep it, and he gets 7.
And that'll do it. Clock will stop when they move the chains, but they'll only have to snap this once more, maybe twice, probably once more. They'll be able to take a knee, and Labette County's going to avenge the loss to the Raiders from last year.
Yeah, 1st and 10, Grizzlies from their own 42. Again, the clock down to 49, and again, they got going to take the snap, go to a knee. They've got Mayhew back there as a safety in the event there's mishandling of a snap or anything like that. But they're going to let it wind down. Like I said, one more snap, and they're going to be able to, when Dean does kneel, and that'll do it as the
and I tell you, I will say one thing about Labette County. They are a much more physical and tough-minded football team this year than they were last year, without question. They are much more physical this year, and I think it starts with the quarterback, but also the running back. But then that line will get after you too. So I think they're a much improved football team this year compared to last year.
Got some nice transfers who are pivotal. A couple of that adds to your, going to the two platoon. You got a defender and an offenser who keep pivotal, and that adds too when you're at this level. And good performance, good ball game, tied at 17.5, and the Grizzlies score a pair of touchdowns in the third quarter, and Labette County knocks off Frontenac 31-17. We'll be back with post-game, talking with, taking a look at the unofficial stats scoring summary, talk with Raiders coach Mark Smith, all that and more after we take a 2-minute break, and you're listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing can tow all cars and some semi-tractors and trailers across country. Barrett has emergency record service for all accidents, 24-hour time.
Yeah.
In an accident? Then call the pros. They have quality auto repairing and painting from certified technicians for all major and minor repair jobs, and they can deal directly with the insurance companies, taking the stress out of your life. Go to BarrettBodyFrame.com or stop in and see them at 1601 East 27th Street.
They're back and forth in Galena now.
That's Larry Barrett Body Frame and Towing. Customer service first. See them fast and name them.
Haynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist. Haynes handles all driveline repairs for cars, trucks, four-wheel drive vehicles, and farm equipment. Haynes can also handle any general machine work and offers 24-hour wrecker service. Call Haynes anytime, 231-3170. Haynes Incorporated is located at the intersection of West McKay and Highway 69 Frontenac Junction. Haynes Incorporated in Frontenac is the driveline specialist. Supporter of Frontenac Athletics. When you get engaged, you can pay for the wedding. When you have a baby, that same. It's a life. Come with real. Make solutions so you can focus on enjoying life. A branch near you. Commerce Bank. Now it's.
And Rob Strand, Randy Souther back to the Raiders Sports Complex. The Labette County Grizzlies knock out the Frontenac Raiders 31-17. The unofficial stats, the Grizzlies, quarterback Easton Dean, 18 carries, 64 yards, a couple of touchdowns. TJ Mayhew, 26 carries, 128 yards, and 2 scores. Keyshawn Anderson, couple carries, 43 yards through the air. Easton Dean, not all that impressive. 8 completions in 20 attempts with 86 yards. Was intercepted. They did lose a fumble early, led to the Raiders' first points. Frontenac, led by Jake Wilbert, 17 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown. Peyton Brown, 15 carries, 23 yards. Cooper Loy, a carry for 6 yards. Alex Johnson, 1 carry, 4 yards. Peyton Brown through the air, 8 of 18, 204 yards, a touchdown, an interception, lost 3 fumbles, again 4 turnovers. That's been the kiss of death this season, and their losses 4 turnovers, and it's been very costly. Raiders scored first with 9 minutes left in the first quarter. A 3-yard run by Jake Wilbert. Trey Harris good on the extra point. It was Frontenac 7, Labette County nothing with 9 minutes left first quarter. 2:45 remaining in the first quarter. Harris a 25-yard field goal. Frontenac took a 10-0 lead with 2:45 left in the first quarter. That's the way the first quarter ended. Raiders leading the Grizzlies by a score of 10-0. First play of the second quarter, TJ Mayhew scored from a yard out for the Grizzlies. Phillips added the extra point. Frontenac's lead was cut to 10-7 with 11:58 left in the first half. Then a safety with 8:45 remaining in the first half. Frontenac led it 10-9. Then with 2:28 remaining in the first half, Dean went over from a yard out. 2-point conversion by Dean. It was Labette County 17, Frontenac 10 with 2:28 remaining in the first half. Then 64-yard touchdown pass, Peyton Brown to Brock Ginnivan. Harris good on the extra point. We're tied at 17 with minute 33 remaining in the first half. That was a halftime score, tied at 17. In the third quarter, all Labette County, 9:43 left. 29-yard run by Dean straight up the middle, and numerous missed tackles. The extra point by Phillips. It was Labette County 24, Frontenac 17 with 9:43 remaining third quarter. Then with 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Mayhew scored from a yard out. The extra point by Phillips was good. It was Labette County 31, Frontenac 17. 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. That's the way the third quarter ended. Scoreless fourth quarter, and the Grizzlies improved to 6-1. The Raiders fall to 3-3 heading into district play. Labette County against Independence, Frontenac at Parsons. And again, both teams competing out there. A physical contest, and I know the Raiders are going to be discouraged. They put up a good battle, but again, I think it's just a case, too many turnovers. Offense struggled, defense on the field too much, and boy, add to it that you got two platoon team out there, no two-way starters. You can stay fresh, and that makes a big difference.
It does, but Rob, I can't stand that as an excuse.
Well,
I'm sorry. You play both ways. It's high school football. You play both ways. I can't. I know it's a fact, but
if the defense is on the field that much, it makes sense that they're going to be wearing out.
Well,
Unless
but the same kids are playing offense all night long. What difference does it make? You don't get tired playing offense, but you do dig in playing defense. That doesn't make any sense to me either.
But if you play both ways,
just play the game. Go play the game. I just don't like it as an excuse. The bottom line is when the Raiders turn the ball over and they shoot themselves in the foot with bobbled snaps, penalties, turnovers, you're not going to beat a good team. And tonight we played a good football team. You make too many mistakes, you're going to lose.
We're waiting for Mark Smith to come up here for some post-game comments. And again, the 4 turnovers, the bugaboo, and the 3 losses. There's been 4 turnovers, and one of those a punt that was blocked, and that's been a big problem. And boy, you'll have to get this ironed out, especially the exchange between the quarterback and the center before you get into district play if you want to make any decent run on that. And of course, that's what you're going to have to hammer out. That's probably left a lot to work on. And of course, hopefully get some kids back who have been injured. That would help, just the numbers. But
that's just it. Possibly get your starting center back, next week. And there were maybe some shotgun snap issues with him, but you didn't have the under center, issues that we've had since he's gone out.
So the Raiders fall 31-17. I believe Coach Smith making his way up here. It'll be interesting to hear his thoughts. As it was a battle. They're going to have some sore kids tomorrow morning. As two physical teams going at it, and like I said, the good test heading into district play when that's when it counts right now. And did you have any other updates on the scores?
Yeah, Galena and Columbus in just a battle. It's been back and forth the entire second half. Galena holding on to a 33-29 lead with a minute 37 left in the fourth quarter. Columbus has a 4th and 6 from the Galena 38. So coming down to the wire down in Galena.
And that was an interesting contest going in. Everybody said that they thought Columbus was a clear-cut favorite, and I did not see it that way after banging heads with the Galena and what they've been doing. I mean, they're a talented ball club. I mean, a veteran ball club, and you got them there, and you knew they were going to. I would guess that would be a real physical game down there. I mean, like I said, just going back and forth, and I imagine there's some head knocking going, and they're enjoying it down there at Galena. And whatever way you look at them heading into district play, that's a good one to go into if you stay healthy. That's all.
That's
the big
just
key
it.
there.
Boy, you could end up getting some kids hurt at the
right.
wrong time.
So, in any event, the Raiders fall to the Grizzlies 31-17, and joining me is Frontenac head coach Mark Smith. And well, I tell you what, Coach, got off to a quick start and got it tied at halftime. They took over in that third quarter, but a couple teams going at it, and it wasn't a thing of beauty. But boy, 2 teams competitive out there, and they were banging heads.
No, that's what I told our kids. We needed a game like this. We competed extremely hard. It was a kind of a playoff type atmosphere before the game. Our kids were really excited for the opportunity. We knew how good they were going to be on offense. I think our defense really played hard, competed against them. Very good quarterback. He ran the ball hard, threw the ball well. We just had way too many mental mistakes and a few costly turnovers in that first half. Gave them some free points, and we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot in that second half.
And again, the old bugaboo, you look back, and I've got us for the 4 turnovers, and that's been the theme in the losses, 4, including the one that had the blocked punt. But, boy, get away from that. And like I said, it wasn't the thing of beauty. They had their turnovers, too, that kept it close. But 2 teams really going at it. And I don't know. It seemed just like we talked before that with the they got the 2 platoons, and you keep them fresh out there. That does make a difference. I mean, they don't have many going both ways.
It did. We were tired in the second half, and that's my fault. We got to be in better condition. But I told them we haven't played a quarter and a half the last 2 weeks, and that's going to hurt us. And it was humid tonight, but I thought our kids competed. We made plays. We just fell a little short.
And, again, you mentioned talented quarterback, Dean. The thing with him, I mean, the throwing stats weren't awesome tonight. He was off a little bit. But, boy, he makes decisions where when he starts running, that another dimension.
That's his strength, that just scramble play, just making plays after the first read's not there. And I thought our defensive line did a tremendous job kind of containing them.
Some time, and he found a few holes. Their pressure kind of threw it, made his throws high, and our D-line played extremely hard. I thought it gave us a chance, and we just got to be better on offense. And, again, we had talked that it's nice to have a game like that, considering if everybody stays healthy heading into the district. Yeah, I think we did stay healthy, which is great, but yeah, I thought that'll really help us for the next few weeks. Our kids saw what we needed to work on. They understood us again. They were saying it before I even got to the huddle. So the other kids really came together as a team tonight, even in the loss. So it was a huge stepping stone for us, and I told them that was probably the best we played all year, even in the loss. And if we can build on that, we're going to be pretty good in the next few weeks. And you get some kids back who were out tonight, hopefully, and they goes to full bore when you had the Parsons, and of course, the team's struggling there, but it's district, so you're starting over. You're all over home. The quarterback's a tremendous athlete at Parsons. We're going to need everybody on deck. Andrew Mays has been a huge part of our defense, and if we can get him healthy, it's just going to give us that much more depth and make us stronger on defense. Okay, we appreciate you coming up here, and I guess we'll get ready for Parsons now. District play next week. Thanks, Rob. That's Mark Smith, the head coach of Frontenac Raiders. The Raiders fall to the Labette County Grizzlies 31-17 and fall to 3-3 and head to Parsons for district play next Friday. And, of course, you'll hear that game and all the Raiders games on 103.5 FM, stream live at ESPN1007.com. So that'll do it from the Raiders Sports Complex. The Raiders follow the Grizzlies 31-17. Thanks, Taylor, back at the station, the board op, and, of course, Randy with the color. And, again, we'll do it next Friday from Parsons as the Raiders take on the Vikings who open district play. You've been listening to Frontenac Football on 103.5 FM.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK. You're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast in names and numbers.
If you're in the mood for shopping, visit Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall. Pittsburgh's original one-stop shopping center has a lot to offer. A great variety of clothing and shoes for the whole family, a large selection of gifts, sporting goods, events, and entertainment, plus terrific places to eat, and you can enjoy the newest movies in 8 theaters. Shop the comfortable and convenient atmosphere at Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall. There's always something happening at Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's Canar Eye Care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Canar Eye Care, patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
You don't have to listen to this.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
If you want